game between VG and Evil Geniuses. Thank you very much, Synderen, for the blessing.
You're very welcome.
Oh, we just got in our ear that we're actually the last ones to hit this last series.
So as I was saying, this is the last stream to go to the final game today. So yeah, you want to stick with this till the end because this will be the last game.
Yeah, and this will hopefully be a fantastic game. If EG can step up, they had a bit of a rough start at the beginning of today.
And yesterday.
And yesterday. In fact, most of this tournament. But they had a good showing against RNG in their second series.
So far.
It's true. There's only 2 days. But they had a good showing against RNG in their second series of today. They definitely had problems with OG at the beginning of today.
Yep.
But now they're up against VG Gaming. VG Gaming proving that they're not immortal. They did bleed to Infamous. But still, VG Gaming have looked absolutely fantastic throughout this tournament, apart from just that one game.
There are 2 teams right now that I would say across the board have looked standout compared to everyone else that we've seen, and it's probably VG Gaming and Secret. But both of them have looked like they can lose games, and you would imagine that if they are the ones at the head of the board, maybe other teams can catch up and learn and maybe make some adjustments to combat their style. But yeah, so far VG Gaming have been looking fantastic. They were my prediction going into the tournament to winning the whole thing. We're very far away from that stage so far.
Hey,
but
you convinced me into that as well. They're my team to win as well.
VG have been looking super hot going into TI. They've been winning LANs. They've been showing exceptional team play, great drafting, great individual skill. This team to me has everything that you want in a championship team. So, and so far at this tournament, they've shown what they're capable of. So they've brought it. Compared to some other teams where you feel like they should have it too, and they just haven't really brought it yet, but they can pick it up. Evil Geniuses is a perfect example of a team that had a really slow start, but are maybe now getting some momentum. They've got a couple of wins, especially the 2-0 against RNG has got to feel really good when you're on a downward spiral.
That gets them out of the danger zone of the last position. They're actually in a 3-way tie right now for 4th. It's not by much. It's 3 points. The Fnatic, EG, and VP are all tied on, and the lowest is 1 point. So one victory can just shoot somebody up. But anyway, let's look at our draft, man. VG and EG, we're beginning it up. No Leshrac, no Alchemist. Heroes we've seen a hell of a lot of. No SD as well. No Gyrocopter. It feels like we're taking out all the big ones.
First pick Mirana?
Maybe first pick Io. Also available inside the pool.
Oh, wait, that's Ogre. They're going to pick Ogre, aren't they?
Yeah, Ogre's in the pool too.
We should play Ogre. Vote for Ogre for the Arcana matchup, please.
Vote for Wind Ranger, just so Slax has to go through hell.
There was something, he said if Ogre wins, he's going to do a full recording of a potential voice pack with Purge being the other head.
Yeah, but if if Wind Ranger wins, then he's got to actually send a letter to some undisclosed developer asking for a job.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought he was just not going to play Dota for a year.
No, and that. They also promised that as well. So that's why I put all my votes into Wind Ranger just because I'm going to put Slax through the living hell.
Why does he deserve that?
Just because he put
Slax is my guy.
He put it out there, man. He wasn't a man of his word. He shaved after Artifact didn't get a patch.
Slax is my guy. I like Slax. I hope Ogre wins. Vote Ogre, guys. You know what to do.
Vote Wind Ranger. Down with Slax. I would use the other term, but hey, we're being PG rated here.
What other term? Fuck? Was
Slacks.
that the one? Oh, okay. Sorry, I wasn't. I just had to check if it was that one.
Yeah, it was that one.
Okay.
It was that one. There was actually one TI that someone wrote that in a window and put it across the road from the players' hotel. So as we're all pulling out of the shuttles, and I'm just looking up, it's like, hey, what's that up in the window? It's just literally just this piece of paper. There's hashtag fuck Slacks in the window.
Oh, actually, I remember that. I think that was great.
Everyone was just looking at it. It's like there was just this parade of shuttles going off to Key Arena. Anyway, SK as well as Elder Titan coming in here for Evil Geniuses. So we're getting a lot of stuns, a lot of movability, tank ability, and also just that great lane presence that you'd expect to get from the first 2.
5 seconds remaining.
Yeah, I think Sand King is going to be gaining a lot of traction now, actually. We're starting to see super much Sand King success, and in the last game was a great showcase of what Sand King can do. He even had a hard laning stage. He got tri-laned. He still managed to find these huge stuns with low cooldown. He has lots of teamfight damage. He has evasiveness.
He did have the combination to make him really work, though.
Absolutely.
It was difficult until he got the Blink Dagger.
But that's the thing about Sand King, though, is that you can pick this hero early and you can build a lineup around it, and there's lots of options. There are other heroes that are being picked early where you feel like the options are a lot more limited, but Sand King just feels like he's in that really nice spot right now in this tournament so far. As we talked about in the previous game that we were casting, one of the key matchups that you don't want to face in Anti-Mage has been nerfed, or it's just hard to play, it seems, for a lot of teams right now. So he has easier laning time, too.
I'm really liking this from VG Gaming. Like, this now just opens up Paparazzi for such a great hero pool. Allows him to go in for the Juggernaut if he wants to, something we've seen OG use already with the Magnus as well as the Jug. And just this speed of both farm as well as like power increase. Not to mention the fear of one big ultimate can make it win for VG.
And I think it's a good read to get this hero against EG the way they're playing right now. EG's games are not super high tempo. They're not playing very pushy. They take their time to build up key items, and I don't recall seeing any of EG's games here where I was like, wow, EG just ran that team over in the early game, like completely. They might have done it in the RNG series. Granted, I didn't watch those games, but apart from that, the games that I've seen from EG have been kind of slower. They've been breaking even, maybe slightly ahead, but no crushing.
From what I caught of the RNG series, like it was still slower and progressive to victory, but it was a lot of like Arteezy's getting space and Sumail's making plays.
Yes,
because like on day one, Sumail was just going off. As much as EG didn't get points on day one, like Sumail was still having a fantastic day. So want to see him on one of those big playmaking heroes that EG's just able to give him. But Void's banned out. Rubik's banned out, so they're worried about like the counter team fight that Faceless Void will be able to offer from Arteezy, and just the Rubik. It's maybe would have been a very hard time to run both ET and Rubik for Evil Geniuses.
Fly plays Elder Titan for this team sometimes, so they could have got a crit Rubik. I think what they're more likely looking for, perhaps, would be the Dark Willow, especially now that they've banned out Juggernaut. That's a really good hero for a crit. I think it has good synergy with Sand King. It's a very straightforward stun setup for the Bramble Maze into Terrorize.
It's a great counter team fight.
It's
without
super
it having
good
to be on your core to do that.
Yep. And the nice thing about Sand King Willow is they can set each other up too. Willow can start the fight with Brambles into Terrorize, and Sand King can start it with stun into Epicenter, and then you can get the Terrorize. So there's plenty of cool plays to be made. Another option that could perhaps be interesting for EG is to go the route of Silencer. This is a classic combination Silencer Sand King. You blink stun Epi and then you global, and you also have a counterplay to the Magnus. Even if he gets an RP, you can global so his cores can't kill in the RP.
I would also like to see like maybe even the combo we saw before, like the Lifestealer and the SK together.
Yeah, I just don't know the matchups yet. The reason Lifesteal was good last game was that they saw some matchups first, right? They saw the Alchemist.
Obviously, the RP is going to cause him problems, but like both Magnus and Ogre are very delicious to a Lifestealer.
True.
Just to jump in and try and just like soak him out.
At the same time, though, they have BKB Piercing Stun, which is very good against Lifesteal. Magic Piercing Stun, rather. Immunity Piercing Stun. Whatever you want to call it, Piercing Stun. And that's what Liquid didn't have in the last game. That's why Lifestealer felt so free. Because there was nothing stunning him when he used Rage. OD ban. I don't know if Vici wanted OD this game. Maybe Evil Geniuses want to pick an Ember Spirit, perhaps? Pretty good against Mag. It's mobile carry that's hard to RP. It's also a carry that's good, or a core that's good with Mag. So perhaps they can play this like mobility-based style with stuns and catch. It's a great setup for Elder Titan Stomp, the slight chains. But I don't know if you want to pick it yet. You don't really see the matchups.
They're gonna pick up the Dark Willow, as you're mentioning.
That's good. This makes Lifestealer pretty appealing though for Vici Gaming now. It's a good hero, at least defensively at dealing with Willow, not so much offensively. It's good against Sand King. Kind of both matchups kind of go both ways in a way, because Lifestealer can't really kill Willow, and Willow can't really control Lifestealer, and Sand King can instant stun Lifestealer if you catch him off guard. But
do you get worried though when you're running so many melee heroes against like Dark Willow? Like if you don't have Rage, if Terrorize does cause you problems.
Well, first you pick a ranged hero.
Yeah.
And then you'll see. They're gonna pick 2 cores next, and minimum one of them will be melee, and use Empower well. And I'm seeing Lifestealer, I'm seeing Ember. Jugger was banned, so not that one. They could call their Mag PA. That's some classic Vici Gaming stuff, but I don't think PA has good matchups here. It's not good against Willow, and it's not particularly good against Sand King either.
Should need a BKB before she could really fight.
Yeah, and even then, like Willow you can't target, and Sand King is, it's kind of hard.
Just get Bloodseeker, move through the Bramble Maze at high speed.
Paparazzi Troll, perhaps, is a possibility.
Morphling for Arteezy.
They picked Morph into line. That's an instant pick. Yeah, okay. There you go.
Thank you again, Oracle Sind.
That was very fast too. They really knew they wanted this hero. They were like, "Oh, my hero's good against Morph. Go, get it."
So that means we're just missing our mids.
I would have never called this Morph pick, by the way. I would have never guessed that. And I don't exactly know what the plan is. I don't think Morph. You're picking Morph into Lion, first of all, who has,
10 seconds
you know,
remaining.
historically been a good counter because you have instant stun and a lot of burst. And you're
5
also picking it
seconds
into a Magnus who has a tendency of playing with melee cores that can actually kill you. Even if you're attribute shifting, you can still die against empowered cores.
He will have some interesting abilities at least he can grab from his teammates if he skills that way.
Yeah, he could get
Like,
burst strike.
'cause-
That's very
'cause
true.
Like we saw today, like at the start, like the Morphling and the ES together, where
has
it's
to
like these
get eggs then,
crisscross
though.
fissures.
He has to get eggs.
He
in his
does.
build. It is nice though. I'm not going to deny that. Turning into Sand King as Morphling feels amazing. I can say that because I've been on the receiving end of it and it felt terrible. So I'm going to assume that it feels amazing for the other player.
What can make Arteezy like
Oh,
unkillable?
I just checked. Morphling is one of my only heroes that's level 0 in Dota Plus. I haven't played it since Dota Plus came out. Last game, February 2015. That's 4.5 years ago. I played Morphling.
Wonderful.
go.
I'm so happy I'm sitting with an expert of the Morphling.
50% win rate. Maybe I should play it more. That would be better than my win rate since the new MMR patch came out. Great.
Yeah, I saw your game history for that one. That's not a pretty sight.
It's all right. It's all right.
All right, so Lina being banned out. So just making sure there's not the double nuke that would come from both Lion as well as Lina together would be very problematic for Arteezy to stand. And it would have been that nice extra stun that they would be able to easily chain with either the Ogre or the Lion.
I think they're banning out an open-ended mid pick that can lane against pretty much everything. So they're making sure that Sumail can have a favorable matchup, and also keeping the option of putting a mid Morphling in the game here, because they could still get another Arteezy hero if they do want to go that route. I personally think, based on how EG has played so far, that you should try to get the Morphling on Arteezy and get Sumail something that's faster.
It still makes sense to go that Ember Spirit, right? Like it's still going to be very elusive. You can kite out the Troll Warlord a little bit better.
EG could go Ember. I think it's possible. It's still, you're giving Lion another good target, but it's playable.
Yeah. If he's got too many targets, how does he kill them all?
Yeah, that's true.
Hey, if Arteezy dies, Sumail will pick up the mantle.
I don't know if this Lina ban was the way to go. Like, I get where they're coming from. It's a classic ban to do when the enemy team has to last pick their mid, and it's good against one of their cores as well. I just don't know if that's what Vici wanted with their mag anyway. Like, they might want a secondary hero that uses Empower. If they want to go really greedy, they could pick Medusa, but they don't know Medusa's matchup, so I don't think they're going to do that. There it is. That's another
Kanka.
hero that uses Empower, and it's melee, and has very few bad matchups. So I think this was an excellent choice.
Gives them
And,
that follow-up team fight. Like, it always feels like teams are having like with this, like it's so much again single target focus that you're able to achieve, but then you got these two team fights in the second, the fifth pickup, just like our last series.
This is also a good hero against Willow, in my opinion, for two reasons. First of all, if you catch her with X Mark, sure, she can use Shadow Realm, but she's still going to get caught by your spell combo, and then you can kill her off after. And Ghost Ship is really, really good against Willow's ulti. People stay alive, actually, instead of dying to Bedlam, and also good against Sand King. This is just actually just maybe the best possible pick in the pool here. That was really, really good.
So how does EG counter it? They don't have a lot of time, 25 seconds. You just put that Morph in the safe lane and get something else against the Conqueror in
I
mid?
was going to say Timbersaw, but that just got banned. 'Cause
Yeah.
that would have been a good Timber game. Sumail.
Don't have a lot of time.
Razor has its appeal here. It's good against Troll and Kunkka in lane.
Can
Against
it,
Troll
can
in
it
the game.
survive the burst?
Yeah, that's the problem, right? Can it really do that?
They're going to go Dragon Knight.
You now select
That's
your heroes.
That's an interesting choice. Not that kind of flashy hero we've seen Sumail on. This is very much like we tank, we can push a little bit, we can play the slow game. But playing a slow game against a Magnus,
Yeah, that's that's two ways of looking at this, right? One is it doesn't play make very much, but the other one is it can take towers. And I think EG's game plan going into this is we're going to play around Dragon Knight taking towers, and we need to do it because I don't think you're happy just trading farm in this game. I think you're not going to be on the receiving or on the winning side in terms of farm. And Vici Gaming at the same time, that's the other thing. They're not just like a passive team that's going to hit creeps. Like they
Oh,
have
yeah.
playmaking heroes too. So you have this like nice duality in the lineup of feeling confident going late, but also being able to fight early and have strong lanes. It's a very well-rounded lineup. I like it a lot.
I do like the choice though from EG in a way. Like while I get a little bit iffy about Sumail not playing like a Storm Spirit or a TA, someone with a little bit more flash and higher snowball momentum, having the DK, Mag jumps you, hits the RP, you should be able to survive the initial hit. Then there's something that EG can do about it. They terrorize space, Fly can create some space, Sumail can just tank through it and then just reposition. If you can't get a kill with your first initial hit, then RTT and Sumail can go ham. But I suppose like VG, they still have such a huge combination with burst damage.
I think there's a lot of the pressure in the game of performing is on Fly. I think the Elder Titan stomps actually play a very key role. Elder Titan always plays a key role, right? Like you're gonna hit these big team fight spells, so you're gonna feel relatively useless.
Why has ET got his entire back to us?
Turned.
It's like, it's like Fly. No, I don't want responsibility.
But it feels extra important in this game because there's no elusive carries on the enemy team that you can't really stomp. So you have a lot of play potential, and your team is going to rely quite a lot on these stomps landing too. So let's see if we can get a strong individual performance out of Fly this game. If we do, I think this game could get really exciting. But you know, based on history at this tournament so far, these last 2 days, VG Gaming going in as clear favorites.
Yes.
And let's see how warmed up EG have got today, and if it's to the point where they can actually take a game off or even win the series against this monster of a team.
Let's see how our lanes rack out. Paparazzi. He's had such a beast of a tournament already, and then you put him on a Troll Warlord with an extra buff up. This is going to be scary to see him play the Troll Warlord. But he'll work with DY down that bottom lane. It looks like unless you end up getting the normal lane as well from Evil Genius, as S4 is going to be heading down there. Yang's going to be heading up north. He's going to work with Fade a little bit further to the north. He's got an itch on his back that he obviously needs to scratch.
Love that mag animation.
And Ori will be our Kunka.
Yep. This this offlane combination, if they're gonna play, is a pretty weird lane. The Mag Ogre, but both of them are relatively tanky and hard to kill. And Sumail is very.
I'm playing mid. Yeah, dude.
Fuck! I picked Elder Titan.
S4. I have a hero that stuns.
I love these pictures.
Why, yes, my hair is always perfect.
Name's Crit. James Crit. Okay, so it looks like runes are going to go 2 for 2, more than likely, unless somehow Paparazzi will get one bottom.
Is this from Fade and Fly? They're just high-fiving each other inside the jungle. Crit's going to come over, he's going to throw down the Bramble, and well, Ogre's going to stay on top of the rune. Yang's able to claim that one, and a quick skewer from Fade tries to create a little bit more space. There's a lot of early damage that they'll cop, but 3 bounty runes.
More or less negligible on Ogre. It's 1 tango. He has so much base regen.
13.3 when he's got the Mango and a Tango.
Yep. It's okay. Like, what else would you do, right? You might as well cast the spell and do some damage, but it won't make that big of a difference. And Fade is already planning to pull the second wave up here, acknowledging that their dual lane is not particularly strong and that they're facing a tri-lane as well. So the trade-off for this is that S4 is going to be very sad.
Yeah, he's already taken a stun from DY and a lot of damage, but that's why Crit rotates down towards the bottom lane, and he's going to move through the Bramble. DY, so low on life, the Actors, he'll turn for another stun. S4 can't reach him. DY will be able to live and move back.
None of them have salves, though. This is going to take a long time for him to heal up. That's laning space for S4 right there.
And keep the tension high. That's what we want to see.
A little detail up top with what Fade just did with the creep wave that he pulled behind the tower. He ran it in circles inside the small camp, so that when this connects behind his tower, he's not allowing Fly to pull that camp. If he would have pulled it all the way, Fly could have just been like, you know what, I'm just going to go for a pull, or go for it after. Oh, boy.
He said, oh, we're Fly. Well, there's the TP away to safety, and Fade can now, in nice comfort, farm up this lane.
Flies back
and
next to our team.
And
He's
Yang's,
like, bro,
Yang's
I know
already
how you
got the
feel
other
now.
one. Yo, high five, bro. Great pull, bro. Great. Oh, wait, no. Left him hanging too long.
So someone else getting clipped this time. That's pretty cool. Bottom lane? Nothing's happening. Okay, mid lane. Nothing's
I'm sorry. There's a lot happening down on bottom lane. Chris brambling up again. There's farm to be had. There's items to progress into. There's never nothing happening in a game.
And look at
of
Fade
Dota.
again. He's putting a lot of emphasis up top on blocking this camp So once again, this small camp is unavailable. He's blocked it twice in a row. And now that Ogre is almost level 3, they're like, good enough. Enjoy your time, Yang, get your levels. I'm going to go bottom, and I'm going to secure Troll's lane and start just giving us a huge advantage down here. He's going to find an Arcane Rune on the way. This could be leading into our first blood. They will not be expecting this Magnus rotation, I do believe. Oh, S4 is kind of just already
Yeah, he's already
kind of
so
dying.
low. They want to go for crit probably, but the easier one is just to skewer through the tree line and take out S4. Burrow Strike will happen, but he doesn't get to the other side of the Magnus. And first blood is actually going to be S4. Fade skewers away from crit, away from the Bramble. And he's also got a couple of friends hanging along with him, but crit, even with Shadow Realm, he knows he doesn't have enough damage. And Yang's able to just take this top lane by himself. Like, Fly's actually having to salve his early harassment. He's now completely out of regeneration. But this is offlane Ogre, everybody.
I love Ogre. What a hero. I love this hero.
Ahri into towards the mid, connects over on the torrent. DY looking for the follow-up stun, able to get in range. So Sumail in a little bit of trouble, comes onto the tower. But so Ahri, he's having trouble getting through those 2 points up in Dragon Blood. DY will take the aggro of the tower away from him, and Ahri just lines up the level 2 Tidebringer, bringing down Sumail.
Very nice kill. I wonder if he should suicide to the tower right now. Doesn't seem like he wants to. He's going to deny a little bit instead.
Still some good CS to
It's a really big timing on this gank too, because Sumail just lost, okay, only 2 creeps, almost 3. That's what you want to do. If you can gank around the time that the creep gets into the tower, the loss is just that much bigger for the enemy mid hero.
They're going to look towards crit in a second. Still, actually, no, Paparazzi has not nowhere near enough life to fight. The Courier's got to go back and pick himself up some regen.
He'll get spotted one tango by line. I guess he already did that, maybe. No, he didn't. Okay, so there's one more.
But there's a Salve and a Mango coming. S4 is just not having a good day. Like, it's still 15 for 1. Like, the CS is nice.
It's okay.
That,
Doing fine, actually. Kind of. What's his XP?
okay, maybe now this will make it work. Nope. DY gets the stun.
Okay,
So,
his XP isn't the greatest, but he has the same net worth as Ogre. It's not that bad. And now he's going to steal a bit of this pull. Or this stack, rather.
yeah, actually, just I felt like S4 was being zoned out a hell of a lot more than all the numbers really say he was. Especially with this tri lane. Like, all right. Magnus has moved back up towards the top lane, putting down a ward. He's waiting here for the 5-minute bounty rune. And Fly is moving over for it too. Ogre doesn't really have enough mana to work with. No, I don't think Fly actually saw that Fade was there, but Arteezy will. He'll come back over and go, okay, we have a couple of extra heroes here. Wait for the rune. Does Arteezy want to come down to it? No. They'll just end up trading on the other sides as S4, Burrow strikes forward, finding DY down the tree lines. Crit throws out his own attack. Oh, 4 HP on DY!
Caustic?
Caustic. So when you think you may be able to live, think again. Dire Observer will get dewarded. Fade. Thanks to great intuition, maybe. Realized the Observer Ward was taken and Fly and put down the deeper opt. And S4 and Crit have a lot of fans chasing them. It's like a signing session for EG. Towards mid. Ahri, X marks, Torrent, Boat, Fade. Trying to look for it too. Body blocking Mount. Sumail realizes he can't go one way, so he'll head down towards Crit. That's a huge save. And Sumail could just walk this off, salve up. DY at least can cancel the last actually, no, he can't. He can't even cancel the remaining point.
That was a really good play from Sumail. His movement there. It might look easy and like a small thing, but what he did there is actually, it's no joke. Really, really good movement to survive that. Magnus couldn't find the skewer angle. And even though Kunkka got level 6 first, Sumail's fine.
Man, they're all trying to battle into Fly. The
he's
Astral
dead.
Spirit's better wear off. He's trying to stomp and get something out of this, but it won't happen. Ahri.
Here comes Roshan. Oh, almost got. There would have been a cool bash there. I got him with the Tidebringer.
So 4 kills in 6 minutes. It's that slower kind of pace game that we were expecting both these teams to play.
But the Vici Gaming game plan is progressing very nicely right now. Troll and Kunkka both having great farm. Magnus having levels in that position 4 role and decent farm. He wants mana boots so he can keep casting in power.
And
He's free to
Arteezy's not
stack.
keeping up with the net worth of the Kunkka and the Troll either. That's the other thing I was wondering about.
Yep.
Like how quick will this Morphling come online?
He's not very far behind, but it's something. That's just Yang being annoying.
Yeah. The power of the Ogre.
Does he have any item coming up in the courier? Or is he that poor? He has a Soul Ring in the courier bottom. I was wondering. I was like, certainly he wants to cast more stuns than this, but yeah, Paparazzi. Papa comes first, and then everybody else can get the courier.
They get a dust, and S4 is just going to Burrow Strike away.
And now S4, like, he's falling further and further behind in XP as compared to Ogre. He still has the same gold, but now he's a level and a half behind Ogre.
And 3 heroes in mid from EG. I know this is first Dragon form and you want to do as much damage to the tier 1 tower as possible. Thanks to Dire Ops, they see a lot too.
They really want to. It's not just the Dragon form, it's the fact that they're playing against Mag, right? Like, you gotta take some initiative. They're very much under pressure in this game.
That means achieving some level of objective. But Samel's Dragon form does last a very long time. And all they're finding is just illusion runes to mess with DY. But Ori and DY and Fade, all three having to tank it up in this mid lane. But there's now 4 heroes from EG. I guess SK has moved a little bit further back, farming underneath the Radiant D-Bobs. They need the Dragon Tail stun from Sumail to start this off. Fly Spirit, Dragon Tail stun, but Sumail just lost his Dragon form, so he won't get the range stun anymore.
Yep. This is a really great spread of heroes. I think this is the perfect map spread that VG Gaming can have right now. They put Magnus mid to get some XP and gold.
Oh, good range axes. Slows down S4 enough. Gets him in range of the X-Mark Torrent boat. And S4, nothing to really work with apart from death. Ori will claim his life.
So basically, the way VG are playing the map right now, they're accomplishing everything they want. Yang is being top and being annoying and just being big. And the Magnus is getting levels in gold mid so that they can get higher levels in power. And then the Kunkka, because mid is taken by Mag, is freed up to go and make moves with X-Mark. And they just got a kill on the Sand King, so they're getting kills while farming while stack. It's really textbook Magnus gameplay right now from them. And showing why Kunkka was such an excellent last pick already. And we're not even 10 minutes in.
He said EG need to try and make a play with it when they're under pressure, but how do you stop this type of tempo control this up? Maybe you can get something up on this top lane, but
I think it's just hard for their lineup right now, honestly. Dragon Knight can hit the tower, but he doesn't have strong heroes to play with yet. Dark Willow's level 4, Elder Titan's level 3. Sand King has a very bad time bottom level 5. So it's just the plays aren't really presenting themselves right now.
they're trying to actually contest with these runes. Crit. We'll get rid of the Sentry Ward nice and quickly, but it's 5 seconds until the bounty's going to spawn. The Observe Ward saw Sumail come very early on, so they know just how much is here, but thanks to the X-Mark Torrent chip, the combination hits so hard in towards Crit. The Burrow Strike from S4 gets a chain onto the Troll Warlord, but where's your big damage? It's got to come in from Fly. He's got plus 60. Trying to pump it into Paparazzi with Whirling Axes. There's not much more to give. Dark Willow still the first one and only one to die during this fight, and DY with a double stun keeps the rest of EG off VG's back. But underneath the tower, they realize he's alone. And they will die for it, but DY, he'll just TP out the Adaptive Strike from Arteezy, will reach him in time. With a follow-up stun, nothing DY can do.
And they need to get this tower out of this. And I think they will. They have a Siege Creep and a Dragon Form, so good move. Good from Arteezy to join up for this as well. I think that was necessary for this to be successful. If he doesn't join, then maybe they lose the fight on the, at the rune after all the spells were cast. They could have re-engaged. And Sumail managed to snag the rune right in front of Kunkka as well, so they got the bounty. Now Sand King straight into mid defense, very good. Another really good aspect about this hero that we didn't talk about pre-game, that he also brings to the table, he's a really good tower defender. Just putting that Sandstorm and playing behind the tower while you're defending is a really powerful ability to have.
Well, they're going to need him up on top. He's done the work in mid, but Sumail will head up top. Fortification on the creep wave, Paparazzi. Just wants something out of this tower. With Yang's movement up too. And Lion, they're bringing all the numbers up towards the top from Fiji. But this still creates more space for Arteezy. Got the last hit in the bottom tower. And he is going to go in for a Lincoln Sphere as his first item. No Manta-style shenanigans. There's a lot to probably trigger that later on. But good stats, good regen. You're a little uncertain about it as well? Like, Manta-style makes me feel like he has more of a play.
I don't know, I'm just thinking, like, what is good here? Because the Linkens has its merit against a hero like Lion, right, and against the Kunkka X Mark.
Yeah.
But
When they're all together.
it does nothing against RP, and I'm just like I'm thinking like what else? Like that's always what is when you're looking at an item, you're like, it's not that good here. Well, what's better, right? That's always what you should be thinking. If you don't like the item, give a better suggestion. And I don't know what's really better here. He could rush his Scotty first item or something, so he's tanky and has damage, but that probably doesn't feel that good either.
But if he gets both Linkens as well as Skadi, he becomes one of those immortals.
He gets really tanky, but then he also has 2 items that provide relatively little in the way of damage, right?
Yeah.
E-Blade Rush also feels kind of bad.
Like, there's only one
Yeah,
hero he
I
can
don't-
really kill, but E-Blade does sound good against the Troll Warlord, stopping him from attacking.
Yeah. But
that-
you,
then
but you
it-
gotta
then he
use
doesn't
it.
play
You
as-
gotta use it after Battle Trend so he can purge it off, right?
We're also talking about the Aghanim Scepter style build over on the Morphling.
Yeah.
Like, what happens when he starts becoming the rest of his team?
The axe could have been interesting. Maybe first item even. It's a bit unusual, but if you get it at the right timing, playing with Sand King, that could have been a thing,
Yeah.
perhaps. And then you can try to take the team fight route with Dragon Knight and use double Burrow Strike.
Speaking of the SK, like we saw this in our last series. We're like, oh, SK, like that's a good timing on a Blink Dagger. S4 completed it 13 minutes in.
Yep.
Obviously, he has had a lot better game than our previous SK that we saw, but still,
It's
this
about
is,
the same, I
This
think.
is roughly about the same. It's about a minute later.
Yeah.
But VG Gaming, everyone's coming in quickly into the Shadow Realm.
Good torrent.
Hit by the Torrent. Dark Willow. Really difficult for Crit to get himself out of this one, and one more hit from Ori will do it. DY holding the finger. As you said, don't care about the buff. But Arteezy pushing into the mid tower. Fortification will kick up,
he
and
got
here's
X'd.
your X mark. Fly, Spirit, something's got to come out, or maybe Arteezy just turns into Ogre, and the stun will completely miss from DY.
If that finger would have, or the Earth Spike would have connected, I think he's dead actually.
They smoked up. I don't know if that was in range, if that was visible. But here they come, Epicenter, S4 looking to put that Burrow Strike power right in top of Ori with the Spirit and the Stomp. What's Arteezy got? Samel's got the stun in with the ET stun. And he actually hit everything into Ori, and they're going to bring down the raid boss. 35 seconds down, this allows them to move into the tier 1 tower, Evil Geniuses, and give Fly actually the kill for 497 gold.
Good move. That's a good dagger reveal. I think he was hoping for more than 1 kill, but they got the biggest one and the tower. It's still very nice from EG here. Equalizing the game more or less.
And with the tier 1 tower down, feel a little bit more comfortable across the map. This gold advantage really has not moved up and down. The experience has got something a little bit more the way of VG Gaming, because it feels like they're being a little bit more split up and independent across the field.
They've got more kills too. They give good amount of experience. They got 1 or 2 core kills, right? They got 2 kills on the Sand King and 1 on the Dragon Knight. So if you don't give too many kills away after that, you have an innate experience advantage, right? So 3 runes again for VG. I'm saying again. I feel like they got 3 the last time too, didn't they? Or no, maybe
no, it was
that's the one
HG.
Sumail got one.
Yeah, they battled on top of the runes for it.
Yep. Speaking of Sumail, he's closing in on a pretty good Radiance timing. It's going to be sub 20, maybe even sub 19.
It's not bad when you have to go like treads and bracer and full wand.
No, it's good. This is a solid timing overall.
And Arteezy wants to do something about Fade. Can't just let this guy continuously farm up, but he's already hit the 4 points up in Empower. But while he's doing this, he is staying a little bit further away, but I suppose Troll Warlord, it's almost like wait until the duration's about to run out, Fade TP's over, let me just rebuff you.
Oh, Yang took cast range and not GPM on Ogre Core. Is that normal?
I don't know. Do you really need the range on it?
Cast range is a really good stat, right? It's just,
Yeah.
it's only 100. But
Well, we saw like the Lion cast range in the last game do a hell of a lot of work.
yeah,
too.
that was a lens. That's
Yeah.
much, much more. Oh yeah, and the talent, right?
Yeah, he ended up getting both.
Yeah.
And Ichi don't have a... Well, I suppose they do have some good ways to get into the back lines with S4. But you don't have the same delivery pop system with the lifestealer to kill off the Ogre.
No, I'm not completely sure about this. I've had this thought as well that some of the GPM talents are maybe a little bit overrated, because when you do the math on when they really start kicking in and what difference it makes, sometimes it feels a little underwhelming. But Ogre's 90 has been one of the ones that I've considered pretty stable good since it got upgraded from 60 to 90.
This is a nice
Yeah.
smoke move. They might be able to catch out DY. Fly's already moving over. They see him running north. He's got a TP scroll, using it around the tree line. And they actually don't. Burrow strike back from S4. Will be able to connect and crit. Kill secures with a Shadow Realm damage. But this opens up space. EG moved all the way up north to try and take this fight. And I thought Ori was going to hang around a little bit longer and really push this tower. He's been very defensive about it. Caution's the name of the game.
EG have good reach. When you're playing against a Sand King with Dagger, you always have to consider very carefully how you push. Because he will blink stun, they will follow up with a TP or an Elder Titan Stomp or whatever, and then you can get into trouble.
It's interesting to watch the Warden game as well from EG with the mindset. Like behind where the tier 1 tower used to be up on top, and then behind the tier 1 tower on bottom lane on the hillside. Anywhere VG Gaming could potentially be aggressively pushing around.
But think about that for a second. You're warding defensively against Magnus, right?
Yeah.
It's
Like you believe you're going to hit a better timing than like the entire team with Magnus. Like RTZ's got the courier over the secret shop right now because he's got the ultimate orb coming.
he might
And
be
he's
in
going to potentially just walk straight into him. He's got to X-Mark. He's going to time this perfectly, but no, X-Mark into the torrent. It'll connect. With a chain stuns, RTZ will fall. Won't lose any money, but he's dead for 43 seconds.
And like you were talking about the possibility of going Manta, he is exposed for a while against this vessel from Kunkka. He looks at Ortiz and he's like, hey, he's not even going Manta. Even better for me. And yep, that's a core kill and a mid tower.
Yep.
Well, the Magnus team once again keep farming up.
They're not even looking to fight. Like Chris still pushing out on bottom lane. So if VG wanted, with the tier 1 towers lost, all the top towers lost as well, Roshan becomes a big option. I think Sumail wants to get rid of that Observer Ward in mid. You saw it. It's easy money to push him towards the Radiance. Oh, they smoke up behind it. So Sumail gets rid of the ward, and now the Radiance comes on the courier. But Roshan's not being done. So Fly will scout, but there's nothing to see.
Yeah, I think you might want at least a medallion before you do this Roche. And I imagine Ogre wants to go for Solar Crest after Pipe in this game. It's not really a good Crimson Guard game, so no need to even consider that item. Yeah, I'm pretty confident that that's his choice.
And VG also want to get the Blink Dagger over on the Magnus first, but you get BKB now done for Kunkka. It'll come on the courier. Fade's farming the Blink Dagger up on top lane. And Evil Geniuses, without the cover of smoke, are going to enter into the Radiant jungle. The VG, they saw him walk past with the Observer Ward, so they have no issue about this at all. Put Paparazzi on the front lines. If they feel like they can fight, they'll fight. When they got two 10-second BKBs, you feel pretty good.
Oh yeah, they are really strong right now. I think
This is Roshan time. You actually forced EG into an engagement.
fighting this lineup for EG into these two BKBs actually requires Sand King ulti, I think. I don't think they have enough damage without a good FP. So you've got to be really cautious about how you select your fights. Maybe you can blink stun with Sand King, bait out BKBs and try to reset and kite, but you don't really have the items for that yet. Sand King doesn't have Force Staff, Willow doesn't have a Force Staff.
Crit's firing from inside the tree line. You're going to miss the torrent from the Kunkka. And I think Fly would actually want to start running his Spirit around, doing some scouting, but he's hiding inside this Invis rune. VG Gaming will smoke upside. And EG are not holding that high ground position anywhere near the shrine. But X-Mark, Torrent, have they got somebody? They've got Sumail. He's still got one charges. It's a good ET stomp, catching up for an S4. Gets the Burrow Strike out with two, with the ET splitter as well. Ogre's having a hard time running away. Yang's got a lot of life, but now RTZ comes in, but he gets hit by the Spirit Vessel. And bashed up, stun, Morphling can't go anywhere. So quickly, RTZ will die. But the buyback comes in from Crit. They need to catch Paparazzi. Now the BKB is gone. S4 Burrow Strike himself forward, but thanks to the great Bramble positioning from Crit, the double stuns are available. Paparazzi will go down. Sumail with a triple kill. And Ori, the Cursed Crown is still going to connect. Fly wants to punch him down, but he's going to get hexed up. Vicious can only slap. But Crit, he can hit a little bit harder, but even that Shadow Realm, not enough to connect into Kunkka. DY runs up the hill, and the follow-up Burrow Strike. Great chaining abilities from Evil Geniuses, chasing VG Gaming to their side of the river. Maybe Fade with the Blink Skewer can catch out S4. He's looking at him, but he's not going to go for it.
That was really, really good support play from EG. Both Fly and Crit played
You put the pressure on Fly.
Solid spell casting. Like it's necessary there to get this turnaround, and then it looks good for Vici, but then they buy the time to outlast the BKBs, like we talked about. They actually kited them, and then S4 can re-engage, and that's when they start running them down with the Willow buyback. So nicely done by EG in this fight, and that was going to be one of the harder fights of the game. Vici kind of took it to EG, maybe a little too close to the tower and a little bit too good of a defensive position, and they opened on Dragon Knight. But still, that fight was not really an easy one. RP was not cast, and that is really credit to the support play in that situation.
You said that fight was going to be hard, but it was definitely essential. The net worth and the experience advantage was moving up so fast for VG Gaming, and VG want to get that back. They smoke up as 5, they'll run up through mid. And who have they got? They've got Crit. That's the only person to go on. But Arteezy getting bigger and bigger. Like, he's still farming up on the bottom lane.
Vici might go Rosh now, perhaps.
There's your first medallion, so S4's finish that up.
They've established pretty good map control to try for Rosh.
Dyer scanned it though, and it pinged.
Yeah, it pinged in the end. So this isn't, you can interpret this in two ways. It was green for like 5 or 6 seconds, and then it got red right toward the end. So I might just think, oh, okay, they weren't doing Rosh, but somebody just ran past.
EG smoking
But
now.
They are checking it. This is important.
EG Spirit will run through everyone in VG Gaming. They know the gig is up.
Yep.
But Arteezy won't join this. Like, you do still have the Shrine available. There's an Observer and Sentry Ward watching the TP in. But if Arteezy can keep the pressure on the tier 2 tower on bottom lane, it does exactly this. Force a hero to come down and deal with it. It's going to be Ori.
Arteezy changed his mind on item. He
Oh
got-
wow, they actually found someone in mid. Magnus really caught out, feared, and they need to actually kill him off before the RP can happen. They're able to do so. X marks the spot. This one's going to catch out Fly. Remember, he's still pretty damn tanky. 1500 HP they'll have to get through, but they have enough. 1-for-1 trade-off, and Magnus does buy back.
Pretty tanky. He was not pretty tanky.
Obviously, not compared to Paparazzi. He's got like 26 armor on this Troll Warlord.
That was not a fair fight, okay? It was not a fair fight. So 2 buybacks, Mag and Elder, and they will protect this Roshan. So what I was going to say about Arteezy, he changed his item build.
He's going into the Ags now.
Or actually, rather, he was thinking about 2 builds. I thought he was thinking about Manta so that he could remove the Vessel, and I thought that was what the Blade was for.
Yeah.
Then he was hovering the E-Blade, but he's going into Ags
Yeah.
instead, so he can turn into that Sand King.
He had both the Ags as well as the E-Blade queued up, but the Ags was definitely queued up second.
Yeah, I don't know. Manta still, yeah. Not a Morphling player here. I think the Ags is great. It's just he's very susceptible to Vessel in this game. It's clearly a problem.
Yeah. You'll have to get it a little bit later, but maybe he just understands what they need to win the team fights. Like, what's the timing you're really going to reach for EG? Battle for 25-minute runes. Ari's going to try the Torrent. Crit comes a little closer. Bramble will give him the cover. Hilariously enough, everyone's up on top. There isn't a single person near the bottom bounty runes, and Crit's already making the TP down to get them. Not too shabby for the money. 90 gold for everybody, with every bounty picked up. That's 90 gold each. And EG really need to see up on top of that hill. The Sentry Ward's been right next to that Observer for a while. And it sees EG's movements way too clearly. Always feels like when VG go for Roshan, they've got this slightly deeper Observer Ward.
Yeah.
Watching the movement come in. And that's not one you check unless you go up on a hill. So things will settle down for the moment. EG will put a foot across the river, just looking for any kind of vision that VG has set up. And
Force
Kunk is
the
just trying to
rotation
keep... Yeah. I think Arteezy's okay with this, though. He still needs a little bit more farm time. 300 gold and he'll have the Aghanim Scepter. And he'll claim it from this bottom lane. In fact, has it now. Comes on the Courier. And EG still have one more smoke sitting on top of Fly. They've also got both Veil as well as Medallion done on S4. He's going to finish that into a Solar Crest.
Might be a way of trying to deal with the Troll, that whoever he ulties, he can Solar Crest then, but also feels like a good 4-step game to me. Lion Hex, maybe save people from RP, buy a little bit of time. But yeah, Solar Crest is definitely a good choice as well.
They kind of need to push out this lane before they go for anything.
Wait, what?
What?
S4 has Fade's mana boots? When did that
Um,
happen?
And why has he actually got Arcane Boots sitting in the backpack?
Why does he have... Okay, hang on. Let's watch the fight first.
Yeah, let's just move forward. Well, SK in a little bit of trouble with those stolen boots. He's trying to run himself away. S4, the follow-up stuns will be there. He has buyback available. Samel's already burnt through his BKB, but the same can be said for the rest of VG Gaming. The ship will be able to connect a little bit further north while Ogre dies in the lane. So Ogre is properly down, so it's a 5v4. They break the Lincoln Sphere on Morphling from a long range. And now as DY is a little bit too close. Fly trying to get the Spirit in front of him. I think Troll Warlord really wants to fight those status, taking some extra damage. Now the stun comes through, but it will not connect on DY. He has the movement speed to back up.
Okay.
But yeah, okay, so back to what we were looking at. Right now, as you said, there's Arcane Brute stolen inside the backpack.
Yeah, so somehow, I didn't notice this in the game, but there must have been a point when Fade was dropping mana boots for efficiency, and then S4 blink stunned him and took the mana boots away from him. That's a 1,500 gold swing.
Do we actually have, like, we missed it. Is there a replay on any of
know if
our
we have a
perspectives
replay
to
of
see that from production? I don't know if
And
we
the
have it.
The reason he's not destroying them is they increase the net worth of the Magnus, as far as I'm aware, for buyback cost.
Okay.
Something like this when he's holding on to them, because they're still in the game, I think.
So technically they still belong to the Magnus?
But when I look at Magnus's net worth, it's 4k, which is the cost of his mana boots, dagger, and stick. So I don't know. I'm actually uncertain about this. This happens pretty rarely, after all. And maybe he should just maybe it's changed. I don't know.
It's a good stomp, just delaying Roshan. Paparazzi gets back into it. S4 coming in close. The Spirit will come in once again, giving more information. DK, no blink dagger, but he'll get his feet wet with the torrent.
Yeah, the choice for Ogre to go Vlad's over Solar Crest is helping Troll Rosh a lot, because it's free, basically. He's not taking any damage while Roshing,
Yeah.
and it makes the engagement for EG a lot harder. If they didn't have Vlad's, if he had Solar, I don't think they would even be hitting the Rosh in this instance, but he can try to bait them and see what they can get out of it. It's a kind of game
I just love it.
game of chicken.
It's double brambles, because Arteezy's throwing one out. You've got Crit throwing out another one. Just this never-ending AoE area of stun. Like, how do you actually run that thicket?
Oh wait, does he have...
Yeah, he's got Shadow Realm too. Obviously. X marks the spot. Here comes Ari, running forward towards Sumail. He's still got that BKB
Oh.
available. Fade, missing on the skewer. Sumail still very patiently didn't burn the BKB. Crit gets a good bramble out. Is there a follow-up? They're just trying to get rid of the vision for the moment. EG not taking the fight, and just defensive bramble after defensive bramble, which has been having this 5-to-5 standoff in mid.
Ogre's like, I'm just gonna go and create money. Experiment was successful, plus 480.
Morphling's going to waveform in. They're going for Roshan. Great torrent timing from Kunkka. Seeing Arteezy, giving it a shot. He'll go for the defensive bramble once again. As the bounties trade it up a little bit.
Just brambles everywhere.
This is so stupid in a lot of ways, but this is what they wanted, right? Great AoE control. This never-ending smoking. All right, time to go in again. Time to get hit by Torrent. But Arteezy can keep going for this. He still does some quite significant damage. And the ET Storm tries to create a little bit of extra space, a little bit too far off though.
That Shadow Realm is disgusting.
He knows he can get out of jail free, right?
No, he has the Ags, right? So he's getting all the Shadow Realm attacks with the Aghanims upgrade of the Willow, which basically means you're gonna see it there, right?
Yep.
He only got one attack off, so you didn't actually see it there. But he did it before on Roche. So that might be his primary target. We weren't really thinking about this. We were thinking about the Sand King, which is the obvious choice, I suppose. Just getting the second Burrow Strike is hugely impactful, but also turning into Dark Willow and firing Shadow Realm is pretty interesting. So yeah, that's strong. But it's not very strong against BKB, and it's not very strong if you get RP'd, so he still has to play carefully.
He's going to head back down to the bottom lane to farm up. Arteezy needs the monies. And VG Gaming, they've been sitting as 5 for so long. Like,
They're out.
we should just see this flat line almost in the experience graph. All right, Paparazzi goes back in. Oh, no, there's a Spirit.
They're out farming them because Ogre has Midas. It's kind of funny. They're just, nobody's getting any farm, so Ogre just Midas is 500 gold every 2 minutes.
Good turn over on Crit. Arteezy's already returned to the fight. as we leave Roshan back where we started him. This has been a 5-minute Roshan attempt from both sides. There you go. Now we're looking out farm them. 120 gold per minute. Hits level 15. VG Gaming, I think they've had enough of this. They're smoking up. They're roaming around. Both teams have scan available. But they're trying to get around the back of Evil Geniuses. And there's the Radiant scan. They're looking towards Roshan. Where does the Dire scan? Do they feel it? They're looking further to the north. Yeah, they know something's not right. And Fly walks in, breaks the smoke already over on Ori. Has he got Anthony to cast? He's just going to die! Instantly dead on crit. Paparazzi, the damage output from Morphling! He's just throwing out so much. The RP will connect onto Sumail. DY's got the follow-up chain. Actually, no, he's just waiting it out. Sumail will now BKB and look to walk away while the hits on Yang. He couldn't get away from the Cursed Crown while S4 will Burrow Strike over towards Ori. They still want to get the cause. Yang's doing his own run out of here. Finally, he will go down to Fly, who actually bought back to get this one, but it's a triple kill for Arteezy. He's the bigger man, but S4, he may get the biggest one of all. Paparazzi up in the air, still has BKB available. Will actually dodge the Burrow Strike from Arteezy and walk it all off. All this began because of Roshan, but with so many heroes dead from VG, it looks like EG feel like they can just go in for Roshan.
And VG Gaming used the entire fight trying to kill the Dragon Knight. They had like the most sick stun chain. Perfect spell casting, like one at a time, not a single opportunity for Sumail to get BKB off, and he tanked through everything. 3,000 health, the magic resistance from the Bracer, the armor from the Kiras, all of that came into play, so he survived with 200 health, and Arteezy killing the troll is the deciding factor of that fight, 100%. Paparazzi was not ready for it, got burst way too quickly, and suddenly, we have a huge swing. Well, what do you know?
Yep, we're heading to the south on the gold and the experience graph.
And EG have done a really good job not getting RP'd. Like, there hasn't been a single really good RP in this game for Fade. Arguably, he's also 1,500 gold down from losing a pair of mana boots, which is, you know, very unfortunate. But still.
Yeah, did we ever find out how he lost those?
I
don't think we ever came back to it. We just know it's in SK's backpack, but I don't know if Productions managed to track down that one moment. Either way, great fight for Evil Geniuses, pushing ahead by just over 4,000. Okay. Oh, we're pushing in now on bottom lane, so Arteezy. He's looking so good with the E-Blade pop. And what does VG Gaming look for themselves? Like, your fight just hasn't paid off. Do you still then try and slow things up? Do you go back to the Magnus style play of the game? Or is EG in too much of a commanding position that you have to be the instigators?
It's kind of dangerous right now to take fights. The Aegis on Morphling and what just happened to the Troll, and the fact that Troll doesn't have buyback, kind of... EG are demanding a bit of respect right now. And you gotta be really careful with what you select. This high ground attempt could be scary, though.
Especially when Arteezy's coming in with an Aegis model. He's very happy to front line in the middle of his own Bramble, knowing there's a secondary one to get him out. Love how Arteezy's sitting just on the edge of the range of the Tidebringer effect too.
Look at Arteezy.
Boom, 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 boom.
I'm sure it's fine. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, everything's fine. House isn't burning. Everything's fine.
Thumbs up, Icy.
Just says, there's already been a couple of notes going the way of OS Rock today. And you know that IO, like, he works really well. Hey, Wind Ranger, yeah, it works even better. Definitely see the synergy that Evil Geniuses was looking for. And they needed to pull something out. They weren't in the greatest position. Arteezy's going to get hit by the Torrent. Blink forward, looking for a timing. Wait, no! He got instant stunned by the Bramble. He couldn't do anything. So quickly dead. 45 seconds on the sideline at EG. They'll look to push up now. They've got Dragon Form. Almost full duration, another Bramble onto Yang. The buyback comes in from the Magnus.
Man, it's going to be so annoying to play into all these Brambles. I'm just trying to imagine how it is to play in this game right now for VG Gaming. It's going to be so annoying.
Hey, if there's one thing I know you can do, Cinder, and it's work out what it's like to be on the receiving end.
Okay.
That's like every single example you've given today when you've done your analytics. I know what it's like to be on the other end of a Morphling.
Yeah.
Or on the other end of a Sand King.
It's rough. It's just like you need to keep calm, you know, in these games. for a very long time. They already had this like marathon around the Roshan with 10 brambles.
Oh, they found Ori. They actually got the stun out as well before he's able to get the BKB. The E-Blade will connect, but Ori will burn that BKB. He's down to 7 seconds on that. And what big abilities did you really use? DK's now got a full heart available. Arteezy's still got this Aegis Immortal for a while.
Anybody want a bramble?
They're going. Get them while they're hot.
He can push the tower from the low ground like Sniper with this, by the way. As long as they have vision on the enemy high ground, he can just hit it from down here. See, when this creep wave gets into base, he's going to Shadow Realm, and then he's going to hit the tower. Bop, bop.
Boom, 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 boom. Torrent will at least slow him down.
Beach are biding their time, but they can't keep doing this forever. How long's left in the Aegis? 1 minute. Okay, maybe. Maybe the play here is waiting exactly until Aegis is about to expire and then trying to go for a jump.
It's Arteezy again.
EG won't let them have that opportunity though.
Looking for a big hit. They'll trigger the Lincoln Sphere. Sumail.
Sumail's invincible almost. He's so tanky. 4.4k health,
Yep.
40 armor.
He actually got hit by the Tidebringer and didn't even change his health.
Okay, are EG going to back off now that Aegis is running out?
Yeah, I think so. Like they're reaching that point. They're giving a lot of respect to VG Gaming. Like, but then again, VG's doing the same type of thing. Like, they're always keeping 5 heroes. There's not like a random hero moving off to the side until now. Ogre needs something to Midas. That's why he's coming up.
Yep.
Yeah, she needs multiple things to Midas, so he'll try the creep wave.
No multicast?
No multicast. He got one.
Boo!
Arteezy's going in again. The tier 3 tower. It's just the Yamato cannon from the back lines on rapid fire.
Imagine how Loda would have reacted if this happened at TI3.
Not impressed. Butterfly is now done for the Troll Warlord, so he is putting his money into something. Ogre's getting a little stronger too, plus 40 strength. Because Ogre now needs 3.33 K HP.
Yep. I don't know if that was the right talent to take. I think maybe you have to get the Bloodlust attack speed for both of your cores. Just, like, he's a core Ogre, so strength is really valuable. But I don't know if tankiness is what's going to win them the fight, more so than the ability to bring down one key target fast enough on the enemy team. Like, if Ogre is getting focused in the first place, I think EG will only do that if they're, like, in a really good position to fight already, right? They're not, I don't know. Not completely sure about this choice, this game.
Unless he just feels like Troll's got enough attack speed and Kunka's a one hit.
Yeah.
And everything should die.
It all adds up, though. It all adds up.
Do you actually like Ori as well, not going for like the full-on crit, the big Tidebringer hit? He's going in for Assault Cuirass now.
You mean two Daedalus?
Yeah.
I think the AC is better. It gives him more damage overall, and it helps his troll a lot. It's got to be the best possible item here. Tankiness as well. His armor is really low on his hero, you see? He's got 16 currently. That's very low at this point in the game. So this way he can be a lot more sustainable. He's going to buy the components now. And try to farm up his buyback. Did the math a little bit wrong, it looks like. But we get the tower, and now suddenly he... Oh, he's just going to buy it. Okay. No buyback. He's committed.
He is. Still hits an 1100 crit, that's fine.
The game still feels like it's hanging in the balance. Like, EG are clearly in a very good position, but they have yet to take a tier 3 tower, and they didn't get to use their Aegis. So
I think they understand too,
move,
like Fade hits an RP and this whole game changes around, and while Ori gets caught out and the game could change too, he'll BKB and run away.
Great Yule from crits on the X mark, so forces him to BKB to walk back. And yeah, Kunkka can't afford to die, he doesn't have buyback. If he dies, it's a really big problem for EG. So yeah, EG are just going to control this area. Wait for the next Roche. If VG aren't interested in getting anything going, I think EG are pretty happy with it right now. They've outlasted the first 2 Magnus peaks, I guess, and now the third one is going to be the final challenge. When his cores are starting to get 6 slotted, this Empower obviously ramps up in strength. But since Mag has had no item progression for 20 minutes, he is no bigger threat than he was before. Imagine if Yang had a BKB right now, what the game would be like. He would be able to BKB Blink RP with 0 counters. He would be able to ignore the Bramble Mazes. But for now, he's way more limited in his gameplay.
Here comes VG. 5-man smoke up, wrap around. Evil
Sumail wants to
Geniuses,
get caught.
no one's got scan, and yeah, Sumail is definitely baiting. The creep wave gets pulled off to the side, so VG no. And so does EG. EG's literally waiting on the hill. Blink, Skewer can actually kill off. They're trying to be quick about this one. If possible, the Terrorize comes in, but the BKB protects him. Sumail will go down. He doesn't have buyback available. And now your RP connects. Burrow Strike will come through. And then the Magnus, he does fall down. Does RTZ just have enough while everyone sits there stunned by Fly? He created so much more space, but the Torrent, it sends at least SK up into the air. So Ori will be able to finish him off, but RTZ is not done just yet. Back into the Dark Willow, so he can turn around and get the E-Blade pop into DY. They're taking away as much of his mana as possible. Paparazzi and Fly having their own little battle to the northern side of the lane. The Blink Burrow Strike forward. It's Ori stunned up still. Arteezy doesn't have a lot of mana to work with. Goes for another stun, but now Ori still on the run back out, man. Paparazzi, he can't do much, especially when Crit just had the Bedlam sitting right on top of them. The Curse Crown, they know it's going to connect on Paparazzi. That's why the buyback's coming in from VG Gaming. They need more damage, but S4, huge damage from the side. He'll end up falling just as quickly, but Fly, has he got enough too? Paparazzi, he just stands his ground, does the damage, and now it's VG Gaming with the numbers. Arteezy, the Immortal, will crack, and maybe he's got enough life. Change around to how many people you want to, but can he actually survive?
God, he gets his
He's
kill.
buying time, but it won't be enough.
Yikes, if he would have got the kill too.
If Paparazzi died.
That was a lot of buybacks. Who won? So, okay.
Whoever kills Roshan now probably wins. EG will have to buy back to stop this. The ET Spirit's looking at it.
The cool thing about this play is that Sumail the whole time was deliberately baiting, thinking he couldn't die because his team was next to him, but he got skewered so far away. Vici knew exactly where his whole team was. They isolate him, they burst him without using RP, so they have it afterwards to follow up on the incoming team fight, and Sumail did not have buyback. If he had a buyback there, that fight does not nearly unfold the way it just did, but okay, what did they force? They forced buyback out of Morph, Elder Titan,
Yeah, see, you got
and Sand and Willow. So 4 buybacks from EG.
and you got it from Ogre as well as Kunkka.
Ogre Kunkka on the
Yeah,
right.
Magnus had his on buyback, but it's off cooldown in 10 seconds time.
Yeah.
And Roshan has stopped thanks to the buyback from Morphling. So Arteezy,
It's
he
fun.
had no other choice. Yang, man, that's real close, Yang. But he's
DD Troll. They have 15 seconds.
they got to go on for Roshan. Fly, he's got Spirit up right now, so he can send it in.
This dies fast.
It'll
Dies
go
real
over
fast.
Yang and Roshan down at 4K HP. They're moving in. Sumail, there's your stomp. Paparazzi moves out, comes back in again, battling Roshan just on the edge. Here comes your Terrorize. He won't be pushed back out. Paparazzi, BKB grabs the Aegis Immortal, and they may grab a little bit more. Sumail, he can't die. The BKB comes up, but damn that damage! Ori, how do you survive this? You get E-bladed pop, but there's still enough magical damage. No, he'll BKB, but it'll open him up to the physical attacks as well. Back up the hill. Morphling, waveforms in. Arteezy, he's brought down Ori for a full 2 minutes. It's a great double Burrow Strike, however. That'll buy more space. You've lost the SK. Have they got more? Fly, he's low on life too. Hex up in the back line. Sumail, he can still tank through a hell of a lot. DY's just draining Fly dry, and maybe they have enough through Paparazzi. He's doing the range attack, but hasn't got enough. They've got a better target. It's Sumail with the Curse Crown. It buys just enough space. Yang and Paparazzi stunned for the moment, while Arteezy will waveform himself out to safety. The buyback comes in from the Magnus, and EG are in full retreat.
Woo. What a fight.
This is getting intense.
Wait.
If it's not already, it's getting there.
There's so much good stuff happening in these fights from both teams. This is like
Let's pick one and highlight it.
This might be the best game I've seen this tournament. Not because both teams are playing like flawlessly, but there's so many good individual plays, a lot of exciting, intense moments. This is the kind of game we want to see. And Kunkka didn't end up using the cheese in this fight, and Troll didn't use the Aegis, so there's still massive advantage for VG heading into the next one, as we're going to see a little bit of a Bramble attempt, but Fade should be fine.
It's poking and prodding. Let's have a quick look at this. So
first,
Roshan.
Paparazzi uses BKB to ensure that he doesn't get killed off by the, or get stopped by the Willow ulti. Therefore, he doesn't have BKB now. Ori takes way too much damage on this opening going in, and now Troll wants to pass him over the cheese, but I think they do it way too late. He gets it now, he swaps it in, dies, so now he doesn't get to use the cheese. Troll still has DD this entire fight. They blow up the Sand King as they're chasing up here. And the RP skewer, if Kunkka is alive here, if he gets that cheese off earlier, they probably win the game even. Not just the fight, they might even have won the game. Escaping on a no health is Fly, escaping on very low health is Sumail. Arteezy in the backline gets kills, keeps kiting them around. Willow escapes to the top, and, you know, just super close fight overall from both teams.
This is actually fantastic to see from EG, because like earlier today you saw them hang around just that, like they win the fight. I think there was a fight around top, like the dark side top rune, and they took the fight, they chased it down a little bit too far, and then they just lost 4, and the game just completely escalated after that point. But this time around, like EG, they knew it's like, okay, we got the fight, let's back up, let's reset. We still feel pretty good about this game.
And they seem to know the limits just better than yesterday, where they had just moments of clear overextension, both individually and as a team, and not playing the map as well with high grounds and everything. And now in this game, there's only one glaring mistake that you can really point at of that type that I can really remember, and that was Sumail baiting in mid and actually getting skewered 1,000 range away and getting killed. But it was deliberate, and they did it as a team. That's just one time that they probably didn't consider the possibility of him getting skewered all that way to the right. And apart from that, they've been very good at not going way too far. Actually, maybe there's been one moment in this game now that I think about it, that they went a little too far.
Hey,
into the
as
impact.
long as you do it as a team. In the words of the IT crowd, do it as a team or else you're fired.
Massive improvement from yesterday. That's the big thing, right? If they improve that fast in one day, moving forward in this tournament.
That's the
They're
EG
showing
style,
good form.
right? Like, hey, we have to go to the lower bracket so we can learn a hell of a lot more, and then we can just keep moving.
If they play like they did in this game, I don't think they will end in the lower bracket. If they can consistently play at this level, I have pretty high hopes of at least getting top 4 in the group.
Like Paparazzi and RTC just sending themselves messages back and front. Are you like, are you ready? No, are you ready? And we're definitely not ready for Roshan. He's looking another 4 minutes before he can spawn up, and the Aegis Immortal and Cheese is still in play. Blink up. At least DY can steal that. He's the most expendable person you could send.
There's a big item pickup, by the way, the Blink Dagger on Sumail. We've got to pay attention to this. He was building Daedalus, but he went back for a dagger. I think he really wants to jump and kill this lion. That's what Arteezy would want in the fight as his Morphling, or if he can catch the Magnus. Dude, Mag has still not got a new item for 30 minutes.
It's
actually crazy.
It's been rough. It's been rough. But it's also just been this massive team fight. If you actually look at the KDAs, the amount of assists that go through EG, like without obviously the 8 on the Morphling, it's 12, 12, 16, 17, and then you're getting a little bit more spread out for VG Gaming. Everyone just has to fight together. But this is the first time we've really seen VG in a while move across the river. But it's definitely happening because we're playing this almost like do-si-do kind of style.
It's happening
move across the map.
Aegis and Cheese.
Yeah, they want to try and
That'll
push in, but then the side lane pushes out as well.
That will help your confidence. When you have a huge advantage, you tend to get more confident. There goes the Aegis, though. They didn't get to use it at all.
Huge advantage gone.
One of them.
Sumail's finished the MKB. Still has enough money for buyback, and he's rapidly approaching the consumed Moonshot.
Wait, how much cleave does Kunkka actually have? Yes, Tidebringer.
Yeah,
and
plus
Tidebringer
60%, no
and,
fleet.
And Tidebringer talent. And Empower. 700% cleave. Okay.
It's that moment you actually wish he had something else apart from just the Daedalus.
He'll get there. Oh, crits. Has the oh, wow, he just...
Oh, as he blinks over, DY gets the Hex. Well, he got the bounty rune.
Wow.
Loses his life, but he got the bounty rune.
He didn't blink, force, or Shadow Realm, right? He just ran over behind the tree to TP. I would have thought, okay, if you want to go for a risky play and get the rune, don't you like use all of your mobility first to try to create space to where you think the enemies might be and then TP? That was very
would make sense.
uncharacteristic.
Unless he thought they were going to over jump him.
I mean, if he would have used Shadow Realm and TP'd, he also would have died, because Lion has a ground stun, right? But if he would have blink forced, maybe they wouldn't have found him in the trees or something.
Look at these creep numbers. Okay, 23,000 from creeps, 19,000 from creeps. Don't worry, we've got a long time left on this game. As Cinderin said, like, we're maybe the first one in, but we're not going to be the last one out of this last series today. Troll Warlord, man, that's a lot of damage. Hit by the Veil and Adaptive Strike, and goes down by just a little over 1/3 of his life. And he's got 3,000.
Yep. It's at this point you wonder if Troll needs a different item, if he needs a heart or a Scotty to get just let out extra health. The Abyssal is also going to help, of course, it gives health too. He has a pretty health-oriented build already. I don't know if he's just going to have to deal with this.
Does he, like, is it worthwhile actually switching out like the SMY to get a heart? He's already got Satanic. It's...
Yeah, he has so much status resistance with these two combined. I think he really wants to keep them for the pretty much 50% on that. So he might have his final item build after he gets Abyssal and Moonshard. I don't know if there's anything he can really change. It's nice for him though that he doesn't need boots because he has Sanjin Yasha and Bloodlust.
Yeah.
That is a huge advantage.
Gotta love Arteezy with waveform charges. Can clean out the wave nice and easy. That's his level 25 talent, so no 3 times multi-shot coming in from this Morphling.
And are scanning.
Not that he really needs it, he just turns into crit for a bit.
Is he even playing Morphling?
Does Morphling ever really play
It's
Morphling?
kind of an existential question if he's playing Morphling this game.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Morphling is a very fluid concept.
Yeah. I see what you did there.
Fade. Now got a Shadow Blade up and running.
Yay!
He can potentially get a better initiation for his team.
Yeah,
Do
so
keep your eyes on, well, actually, no one's walking around with the gem for EG. The gem is in the hands of DY right now.
it was that or BKB, right? For Fade. It's one of these 2 items. Shadowblade, more element of surprise, can maybe catch them off guard. BKB can get a reliable RP.
Waveform in, waveform out, clean up the wave. I still love that S-Force holding onto this arcane boots. He's never letting his prize of war go. And EG will smoke up, just in case there's any kind of information that'll have a target. Yang is not that target. Now here comes S4 out. They walk underneath that fresh observer ward. That's 3 times VG Gaming have put that ward up there. 2 of them have gone through full duration. Oh, they're going to really cross the river. No one's pushing the waves out. Who have they got? DY.
He has
He's the
buyback.
closest. He's the gem. S4 needs the Burrow Strike blink. He blinks Sandstorms instead as DY blinks away to safety. But push the wave mid. Get it back out again. And VG Gaming, they turn around and it's their time to get aggressive.
They haven't left a sentry ward behind. Meg could maybe find a really big RP here.
There's an
Now there
option
is
sentry now. So they'll see Fade once he moves around. Actually, yeah, around the tree line. He
His
needs to go.
Shadowblade expired, so he didn't chase up. That might have been a blessing there.
So they're going to take the Shrine at least. VG Gaming. No regeneration from that. Paparazzi walking under the Obs and Sentry with the Blink Burrow Strike into the back lines. S4 will get stunned very quickly with a Finger of Death. They'll find him, and Arteezy wants his own target, but he didn't kill off DY. It wasn't enough damage. He BKB, turns back over, puts down the Bedlam, and they just keep going ham over on Paparazzi. Yang trapped inside the Bramble. Sumail, the Torrent, as well as the ship is all going to connect over on him. He's holding that BKB back, but S4 with the double Burrow Strike. Paparazzi and Yang, they just can't attack. You will get the Whirling Axe, making it a little bit more difficult for Arteezy, but the RP is buying more and more time. They're holding EG in position. Yang wants to walk away. Arteezy will finally finish him up, battling from the left-hand side of this fight, but Sumail is still the big prize. They're trying to bring down the Knight. He's the Knight. You can't do that. Or maybe you can if there's enough of a follow-up and a multicast. Nope, Sumail will still keep walking. Turns for his own son. Over on Yang, actually gets stunned up by it as well. Pulled back in. Sumail, he's finally going to go down. He'll have buyback available. The epicenter doesn't work, so Yang will also fall. Where is the extra follow-up? It's over towards Flight. DY gets his own stun in. Paparazzi swings the axes. Needs to hit onto Elder Titan. Ghost Set will protect him for the moment. The Shockwave unable to connect, but the X marks Spot and Torrent, bringing back the Elder Titan. Everyone will begin their reset once more. And Roshan is up. He has Refresher Shard available, and just in case, Fly's buying back. But he won't use his TP. 3 buybacks from EG across the board, 2 from VG. But it's the amount of cores that had to buy back in that fight.
Yeah, but the dieback is on VG's side, so this is a 5-on-4 situation for EG, and they're going to use this to try to go Roshan. This is possible for VG. It's not. They don't have RP. I don't know if they can do this.
I think they may actually just be baiting the fight too. Like they're sitting inside the pit.
Yep, they're going to scout it with Torrent soon enough, you'd imagine.
You just need that DD rune to spawn in 30 seconds time, but maybe that'll be too
Just
long.
checking now.
Yep, double Torrent connects. They're still a little
Actually
cautious about it.
hesitant.
They're wasting a lot of time, but they're smoking. It feels like they want VG to come out to fight them, and then they can get the jump. Smoke will break over on the Morphling. He'll bramble up on the hill. Doesn't connect on anybody, though.
They're buying time for RP. 30 more seconds is the call here. Keep buying time.
They're coming
Don't
in.
get caught.
They're
Ori?
coming in. Sumail's gonna be the first one. Ori's just used the X-Mark spot to look around behind him. They want to get the Blink Burrow. They've got it as well. Over on Ori, can they actually get him before the BKB can come up? The sleep just lasts forever, and he's feared. Oh, it
Yes,
won't
buyback.
matter. He's
Oh,
down.
BKB.
Buyback is available. He did burn the BKB. Still has cheese available for the next fight, but Arteezy now starts on Roshan. They get the buyback out from the Kunkka, and here comes Fade. RP in 3, 2, 1, and Blink stun. He's under the Observer Sentry. They'll get the follow-up Burrow Strike and instantly nuke down the Magnus. Another buyback has to be expended by VG.
Anyone got a buyback left? Yeah, okay. Lion and Willow. Okay. Let's go.
Hey, if you got him, use him. Roshan, down to 3k. They're waiting for the jump time. DY's got Blink Dagger ready to
great
go.
stop.
He's looking to come through. He'll actually hit into Roshan, triggering off the block. And that is Aegis, Cheese, and Refresher Shard all being picked up.
Perfect stunt from Fly. He slept 2 cores. That secured the Roche 100% for them.
Actually, who's got everything? Okay, so Morphling's got the Aegis of the Immortal. Refresher Shard's onto the Sand King, and Cheese is on the Dark Willow.
And now it's EG with the big advantage.
Dark Willow's
Because
got more protection with an Aeon
When
disc.
there are no buybacks in the game, Aegis and Cheese are extremely valuable. They're already extremely valuable, but at this point, having the ability to go in as a core is game winning. And that's what Arteezy can do. He can start a fight now. He can jump in, use all his spells, get killed, swap in his Lincolns, and then on his second life he can use BKB. And it creates a ton of space in the fight for his teammates. Vici Gaming will probably be playing very defensively now and hope that they can outlast the Aegis and the buyback cooldowns.
Yep.
Because taking this fight now feels really, really difficult.
They just have to play around like their big high ground defense, the big RPs, something that EG will actually feel threatened by. Don't get caught out by it. But EG, they just put Morphling on the front lines. That's the best thing to do. You won't have the Lincoln speed to protect him though. Looking for the damage runes, and well, all that you find is a haste rune up on top, but Sumail does find the Arcane. That's pretty good for his Elder Dragon form. And EG is moving forward now. The sound effect's really cool.
Yeah. So is the damage.
Waiting to actually see some of these, like, well, I suppose you've still got the gem over on DY, but having a backup sentry or something down. DY is going to stand on the front lines because of this, right on the edge of the ramp. It feels it's like they want to try and get the earlier jump. They're just giving Morphling a little bit of extra mana. As he comes back in, X marks. Couldn't get the full hit out. Sumail already triggering the Dragon Form, looking for a jump. DY waiting in the tree lines under the cover of the Glimmer Cape. Gets the first stun over an Arteezy with a follow-up torrent. Blinks away quickly before the second Bramble Maze is able to connect on him. And the siege begins.
Well, it began 20 minutes ago.
It did, on exactly this lane. And the melee racks. Arteezy, the torrent, slows him down. Yang looking for the multicast stuns. Can't get it absolutely perfectly. Walks down the ramp for half a second. That makes you nervous. But they can't keep their creep wave alive long enough, EG, to do this.
The Dragon Form is running out too. They didn't really get anything.
But remember, it has the Arcane Rune on it. Actually, did he trigger before the Arcane Rune?
Oh, he
The-
used
the
it after Arcane, you're right. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
got it ready soon.
Yeah, so it's not that much downtime, like 20 seconds or so.
Yeah.
The top lane's still pushing in for VG Gaming, so someone may have to go back to deal with that. Arteezy does not have a TP.
Radiant's bottom barracks.
He'd be the best one just because he can BT back to the lane.
They actually have to give up their position because of this top wave now. The Aegis is running out in
Yeah.
1 minute and a half. And then they haven't used that. Who has the refresher? Sinking.
Yeah, SK.
So he has double stun. No BKB though.
Technically double epicenter if he can,
That's-
if he's got enough.
I mean, yeah, if he gets an epi into Blink Burrow opening, and then he refreshes and Burrow strikes out, he can technically epicenter back in again.
Yeah.
But
Or use the sandstorm to get in and out. You just got
that's
to avoid the
very
gem.
rare that you see 2 epicenters like that.
Hey, if you picked any of these guys for fantasy points, I'm telling you right now, it's looking very, very juicy. 31 points for DY. It's going to tell you right now, I've got those top 4 in my fantasy team. I'm not biased at all.
No.
Yang, jump in, gets a
Oh.
good stun with the Finger of Death. Arteezy almost has the Aegis Immortal break. He's so low, but then he just switches back into his normal self. And with the Terrorize, maybe they got enough control. The RP, he'll connect from Fate. The follow-up is there. Paparazzi cleaving through them. He's got a damage. He's almost killed Arteezy, but it's still not enough. He's walking away with 1 HP and turns around to hit back into Yang. Conqueror is already down. Yang's BKB will wear off in just a second. And DY draining out S4. He was in way too deep, but he got a triple Burrow Strike. And now here comes EG with the E-Blade pop. They'll get through DY. Remember, the Rax needs to die. This is the first Rax. It's taken 61 minutes to bring it down. Arteezy back back to the world of living, thanks to the Aegis of the Immortal. And Sumail, he wants to jump in for a little bit deeper. Another stun. The Brambles making it difficult, but Paparazzi will play this game from range, but with a double burst strike. Once again, S4 hitting the perfect stuns. 3 euros down without buyback. Finally, VG Gaming will call the GG for EG to take game 1. They had to prove they could topple the big giant VG Gaming. Infamous did it earlier. South America claimed it. Now it's North-ish America that will do it now.
Oh, what a great game. That was a really, really good game. Well played by both teams. As it often is with these super late game situations, it feels like, you know, in the end, when it's down to the wire and you're out of buybacks like this and you're on defense, it often depends on who makes that first mistake that just sets off everything.
Yeah.
And I think Lion's choice, Lion had buyback, right? So what he wanted to do was he wanted to blink in, kill the Morph, and die for it.
Yep.
And he knew Morph had Aegis, so he wanted to trade his buyback away for the Aegis so they could take a fight afterwards that they could win.
Yeah.
But because he doesn't burst the Morph in that jump, you're throwing away your buyback, your finger, for nothing, and then the fight breaks out. And his teammates are kind of half committed because they're like, oh, we can kill this guy.
Yep.
So Kunkka uses BKB, they all go in,
Hey,
and then their cooldowns are
he
used.
was very, very close.
He was very close to dying.
When I said 1 HP, it was literally 1 HP on that Morphling, but they just couldn't finish the job, and he just transforms back into himself and he's at full health. It's like, okay, well,
Yep.
yeah, well that's what we kind of thought was going to happen with EG, whereas both DK as well as Morphling, so difficult to kill, but I think it's big props to the rest of the EG supports, who did a lot of work as well. Like S4 really shined at the very end, but my god, just being Dark Willow seemed to be enough just by picking it. But Fly definitely did a hell of a lot in his ET too.
Everybody in EG played really well this game, I think.
Yeah.
They all individually played better than yesterday, like clearly.
Yes.
Everybody has stepped up, played a better game individually, they play better as a team, and I think the draft today also looks more like in sync with itself.
It's like
than what they were doing
it's not just the Sumail show. It's
No.
actually the EG show.
So they have definitely warmed up, and
But
in
so
many-
is VG. Like VG were fantastic in this game too.
They
Like there
were-
were so many amazing fights.
they were, but there were a couple of things still, like for VG standards, when you've seen how they have played, this is maybe a little bit below their peak that we've seen them play. The RPs were not, they were hard to hit because EG played well.
Yeah.
But at the same time, losing your mana boots is a pretty big deal. That's not so good. And you could say that's not really skill. You know, it's kind of down to luck and timing.
Yeah.
It can happen, but this is definitely not Fade's best showing on the mag. And, you know, Ori going to high grounds and almost dying. And there's a little bit here and there, but, like, still the level of gameplay in this game is so high that small mistakes look big, right? So that's really what we're looking at here. And
Yeah,
that's very cool to watch.
it's like we're trying to hold these guys up to a bar that's very difficult to reach. But hey, that's the international. Everyone's got to play at their greatest if you want to be able to win this major event. We've got one more game to come up. More EG and VG. Our final game of the day, EG versus VG Gaming. Game 1, well, it was spectacular. It was a beautiful display of Dota from both sides, and I want to see more of that. I'm greedy. I'm greedy. What can I say? I just want more.
I'd like another good game.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good games are good.
Yeah, we were debating right now. It's like, well, dinner here ends like in like an hour and a half. I'm willing to go that distance and then just say, you know what, room service.
Okay.
As long as we get a good game of
Down
Dota.
for an hour.
I'm
then
willing for
I'll
that sacrifice.
I'll rush dinner.
You'll rush dinner?
Yeah, we'll make it. It's
Okay.
It's all
Okay.
good.
No, I don't want that. 2-hour game incoming. As Sin said, we were going to be the first game ended by the end of this day, and it turns out we are going to be the very last game by the end of this day.
You know what's funny? I was talking to the makeup lady came over, and I was like, "What time is it? We're on pretty good time today, right?" And she was like, "Yeah, but now that you said that, it's gonna go late, because that's how it always is." And I was like,
Yeah.
Maybe."
I thank
She
you,
was right
Sin.
for now. So far, she was right, but we'll see. We'll see after this game if
Yep.
she was right or not.
Let's see how we go with our draft. See if it's a bit of a
Get another-
rinse and repeat, and we can stop saying let's see as well.
Yeah, maybe we get a 1-hour game, or maybe we don't get another hour game. Let's see.
Hey, let's not. Damn you, Sin. It's like that terrible tech.
10 seconds remaining.
Okay, so EG coming off a big and a very important win for them.
Yeah.
When you're in that middle range that EG is in, this is the kind of single game, even if they don't win this game, if they win, it's great. But if they get that one win against VG Gaming, that's the kind of game that can make the difference for if you break into top 4 or not. So they're probably feeling pretty good about that.
I think it's also feeling they're pretty good for confidence. Like,
Of
like a
course,
player like
absolutely.
Samael, like Arteezy, like they need to have this. I know like Fly S4 and Crit seem a lot more calculated, but Arteezy and Samael just seem to work a hell of a lot better when there's momentum in this team, when there's a positive attitude. And winning a game like that, even though it was very much back and forth, like it's still the win over the number one. Well, actually, now the number 2 in the group, technically.
Yeah, now they're behind OG.
Yeah, now they will be behind OG, depending on OG's result today.
Yep.
Like in their last series.
hmm
I didn't actually catch OG's result just yet.
Okay. Well,
Actually, I can tell you, OG actually won the first game against RNG. So,
Alright.
yes, VG is behind OG now.
Alright.
So, OG are number 1 in the group.
they were also number 1 last year.
Yes.
Not in their group, though.
No. In everything.
Yeah. In the group, they were barely 4th, I think. With a 9-7 score, if I remember correctly. I think that's going to be the break-off point in most groups this year as well. If you get 9-7, I think you'll get 4th. So 9 wins is what you're looking at if you want to secure that, which means Secret's almost already there after 2 days.
Yeah. Secret's at 8.
They're 8-0. I think.
They're actually the same as LGD, but they've played 1 less series than LGD.
Yep.
Because LGD had 2 draws, 3 wins.
All right, so let's see some picks. The bans from EG are Shadow Demon, Gyro, and Alchemist, so very popular heroes, all 3. And Vici will get rid of Enchantress, Mirana, and this time the Elder Titan will not be in the hands of Fly. So I think EG should decide now if they want to take away the Ogre, or if they want to go for something completely different, in which case I believe Vici Gaming will grab that Ogre and build from there. There is the possibility for EG to go an IO lineup. This
Yep.
is a team that does play the hero, plays it well, but he might not first pick it overall.
Oh, that should get first
Oh
pick
yeah,
was
of
Track.
course. They didn't let that one through either.
Well, there's our Samael, or potentially S4. They do play it in both roles.
I could see a Sand King here for
Okay.
Yang.
You just need an easy setup for the for the track, right? Because SD got banned out.
Yeah, but I could see the Sand King for Yang, so EG don't get it as well. I feel like Sand King is
10 seconds remaining.
it's starting to look really good in the games. Even when it gets countered a little bit in lane and has a hard time, it seems to be having high impact, and the players are obviously aware and paying attention to this.
Yeah.
The pairing with Leshrac is very straightforward and obvious. They can both be cores. They can technically both be supports, but that's a bit of a stretch. But it's the kind of first phase that you feel pretty good about. You know, you're like, we've
Yeah.
got stun, we've got follow-up, we've got push, we've got team fight, we've got AoE damage. We can follow the rest of our lineup along those lines. And I think Vici will try maybe not to give them that. But I don't know if they want to go Ogre Sand King, or if they just want to go Ogre plus something else.
Well, you pick up both your spots at the very beginning if you get Ogre Sand King. Oh, so
Yeah,
unless he's a 3.
unless you play the Sand King.
Unless a Warlock.
Or
We're going for big team fight, and Centaur Warlock
okay,
will be the choice.
that is completely different from what I was expecting.
It's not the Sand King. Maybe it opens up as well for EG to do that. I don't know if you get like the greatest team fight you want with the Sand King against Centaur, because you got some really good disengage, but you've also got fantastic engage from VG. They can play this in like both ways with the Centaur and the Warlock.
5 seconds
Yeah.
remaining.
It
Maybe
definitely
we
gives
start,
some.
start thinking like dispel style heroes as well against the warlock.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Could be good.
you can use yours is a natural progression for Leshrac, but you
Yeah.
don't really want to use it aggressively.
Lotus Orb Heroes, Omni Knight.
Mm-hmm.
This kind of stuff can be good against Warlock. Oracle is a possibility. Fly does play this hero. Still like the Sand King, I gotta say, but because having instant stuns against Centaur is really nice. Like, yeah, you can try to stampede and save people, which is good against hexes, but not against instant stuns. And Sand King really checks that box.
I was
Because
wondering if they'd
they're
actually
gonna
do
counterpick
this.
the lane first.
I was wondering if they'd do this mainly because it's such an early pickup on a life stealer, but he's very effective against the Centaur as long as Stampede's down, and Warlock won't be able to control him.
Yep.
If the rage timing's good.
In theory, EG Sudo should be the kind of team that loves Lifestealer, not just because it's Arteezy's one of his favorite heroes, but Sumail's active hero pool acts in a very good way as Lifestealer vehicles. And if it's not him, they can still get the type of hero for S4 that can do it, such as the Sand King that we've mentioned multiple times, or Puck, or there's different options that they could go for. They're going to ban out the Morphling. Don't want to give away that rage. Fair enough. Paparazzi plays a mean Morph, so makes sense.
Yep.
But yeah, I gotta say it's a little bit harder for me to call the draft right now because the way Vici Gaming started this draft kind of reminds me of what people were playing 2 months ago, and EG's response kind of reminds me of what people would have done 2 months ago. No, it's just it's a change of pace. There's a lot of surprise here, and that also makes you've got to imagine for the drafters that this makes things harder. Like you can prepare all you want for the series, you have an idea of how the enemy team's going to play, and then you just throw a complete curveball like this. It's gotta be a little bit difficult to adapt on the spot, but they've got time. That's what the reserve time is for. Tidehunter ban coming out from Vici could be a clue to what kind of carry they want. Maybe it's going to be a Paparazzi PA.
Love
It's
to
good
see that come in.
It's good
but
against Lifestealer and bad against Tide, so that comes to mind at least. Razor ban would... Okay, they protecting their Lifestealer.
yeah,
You would have liked to give away Tide if you wanted Razor, I feel like, but they're
I'm just wondering if
covering their
we're
base.
gonna see one of the older classics, Ursa versus Lifestealer.
Oh, I don't know
Is
if Vici even...
is he still a good hero?
Vici don't really play that, do they? I don't,
Not really, but someone's skill of Paparazzi, like it won't be that difficult.
I'm sure he could play it, but I think the more likely carries that he wants against Lifestealer are probably the Weaver and what did I say before? PA.
PA, yeah.
But I don't know if they're willing to pick PA without Mag. They could still go Mag. Then they have like this absurd Wombo teamfight thing, but they don't have very much in the way of skirmishes or laning stage. So they will ban the Omni Knights to remove that protection from the Leshrac.
So Ursa actually hasn't been played. He's been banned once.
Yeah.
Just as a
Ursa's
small update.
He's not very hot right now.
Yeah, and the one time it was banned, they did not win.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Tusk. First Tusk of the tournament that I've seen, I think. Oh, maybe second. Maybe second.
10 seconds remaining.
So not a very popular support right now either, but
5 seconds.
a great hero for
It's actually the
Fade.
fourth. It's the fourth Tusker.
Fourth Tusk game. I think we've only seen it once, though.
Yeah, we got it
You and I.
from. It was in the VG games versus Fnatic and RNG, and in Secret, Liquid, and Infamous Navi.
Oh, then we didn't cast any of those games.
No, we did
Oh,
not. We
well,
actually
I
managed to
feel like
dodge
I saw it
every
once.
single Tusker game.
So EG are going to grab the Chen, and I love this hero together with Leshrac. I feel like they really like playing the same game because Leshrac wants to group up and push with Edict. He wants to take team fights. Chen wants to do the same, and Leshrac core has innately high levels in the game and has extremely high ganking potential if he is teleported to the fight by Chen with the Holy Persuasion.
Especially like the global movement too, like Lifesteal and Track, like just infest, pull him back,
yeah,
and just
true, they
go.
can do that too. Sven.
Yep. They needed something heavy hitting, something that's going to give him a lot of survivability in the team fight, just outside of like the snowball disjoint, but with Warcry.
I don't remember who it was I talked to. This is a while back, like 1 month or something. Who said that Arteezy considers this Lifestealer against Sven matchup to be he likes playing the Lifestealer in this. There's in the past there's been like Sven's playing against Lifestealers as counterpicks, but it's actually also been counterpicks the other way around, which is pretty interesting. And I think the reasoning was that Lifestealer gets Radiance, so he gets evasion, and then he gets the evasion talent. So until Sven gets MKB, you have like this power spike where you out-man fight him actually. And even when he gets it, if you have everything running, you're one of the few heroes that can actually stand your ground and actually fight back.
But it takes so long for Sven to build a BKB because he never wants to build it early.
You mean MKB?
Yeah, MKB,
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah, it's generally not really an item Sven wants to buy at all.
Yeah.
So it's already an inconvenience, and then if you play around it, it's interesting. I think we'll see if it turns out that way, because Chen lineups and their timings might not totally align with the type of Lifesteal build. I don't know if Lifesteal wants to go Radiance with these heroes, or if he wants to go for the build we saw earlier.
Yeah,
From
from
LGD.
Armor Desolator. There's the SK pickup, so more than likely S4's hero. And that just means we're missing one other, which will either be Flies. Actually, no. Yeah, Flies.
A crit hero.
Crit Zero. So,
I think Fly plays Chen every time.
yeah. So it'll be Crit Zero, or it'll be like the change off, which is like Smails. If they want to
Yes,
run this
if they play
Leshrac
Lesh
as
support.
support.
Yeah, absolutely.
10 seconds remaining.
I would not want to play Leshrac support in this game, I can tell you that.
Yeah.
Tusk is
5
annoying.
seconds remaining.
It's a really annoying matchup. Stampede is annoying when you're support Lesh because you don't have
Actually,
items.
They banned the OD.
And yeah, so they are considering the option of the support Lesh to be a bigger threat.
Well, they're thinking like that's like if they ban the OD, they're thinking that's a Lesh 3, a Lifesteal, a 1, and a Sand King 4.
Yeah, or that it's a Lesh 4 and Gen 5, right? And Sand King
Yeah.
3.
Yeah,
But-
either way, it's like it just means Samael's not playing that Lesh mid.
Yeah, that's what they're banking on with this ban. They're just covering themselves from this save, I think, mainly. The potential core save with all of their stuns, and all of their heroes except Warlock have pretty bad intelligence too. So OD would be able to do a lot of damage. I don't know how much I would have liked OD with EG's lineup actually, but it's still, you know, I'm sure they have their reasons. Maybe it's also good against the last pick that they really want, and just in case EG were to pick that hero, then they're like, whatever they pick except this, we're fine for
Yeah.
the strategy we want to run.
I don't know.
And I wonder what it is.
Like with EG, I'd like to
'cause
see a little bit more control from them.
Sniper ban.
Well, that would have been a nice range damager. They have a lot of like distance closers though on EG, but maybe they just don't like the lane matchup.
It's kind of tough to get on top of. The only thing they really had against Sniper was Sanking
Yeah, once he has
Infest.
blink.
Sanking Infest. I still think they want to play the. I don't know.
10 seconds remaining.
You might want to play Lesh. The reason I don't like Lesh support that much is that I think if you don't get items or many items this game on Lesh, it's hard to play fights. Like you're playing into Stampede and Tusk. They're really fast. They have a lot of movement, a lot of burst damage.
It just feels like you need a
they're pretty
controller like a
susceptible.
Rubik. Like that would make more sense to me. Someone that can actually set up for the stuns, able to get some really good steals against VG Gaming.
Yeah, Rubik's fine.
And it's an ES.
That's
so
another guy that'll do the job.
Yep.
And now that the Leshrac is core, it's a different story because now it can buy BKB, it can buy Ewells to get rid of Fatal Bonds, and it can kind of counterplay this snowball engagement.
And VG, EG, sorry, have a way to actually properly kite out this event now, thanks to the Earth Spirit. Like
Yep.
Magnetize will cause them a lot of problems as well.
10 seconds remaining.
Way to get into the back lines against whoever does come in, but probably you look for that Warlock, another delivery system, so it's either SK or the ES that the Lifestealer can jump inside of.
And now you want to counterpick the mid, so against this Leshrac, you could go. Do they play Brood? It would force the Sand King to go mid if the matchup is as bad for Lesh as I think it is, which I'm pretty confident about. Then Sand King has to go mid, and they will end up playing Somail on a side lane Lesh together with Earth Spirit, and that side lane Lesh would be really exposed. I actually think Brood has its merits here. There's only one one dangerous stun too in the Sand King, and when you're running around in webs, it's really hard for Earth Spirit to hit spells. So I kind of think that would be a cool pick.
Can they
Ori
push?
does play it, I think.
Can they push hard enough though? Like I feel like the counter push from VG Gaming is still begging a little bit.
I think it's fine.
Well, there's going to be Deucer instead. So counter push, sustain.
That's as disgusting as Brood or whatever, man. It's the same hero. Oh, look at Fly. He doesn't have a face.
Wait, what? He's just a
Chen
gorilla
is
now.
actually hidden behind this. That's how big the gorilla is. Ugh. Okay, so Medusa has been a staple for VG Gaming for a long time. They love playing this hero. Their lineup is pretty greedy, though. It's Medusa and Sven. There's a lot of jungling going on in this game for them. Fortunately, of course, Tusk and Centaur don't need to take up that much space. They can make moves with relatively small means.
Yeah, but the downside is you can try and like invade this. Crit is able to be very maneuverable. on the ES, so having a free jungle is a lot harder.
It is. The challenge Vici are facing in this game is defending the towers. If they can hold towers long enough, I'm pretty convinced they're eventually going to win this game. Especially Medusa is really good against Lifestealer. So as the game goes later, Sven's potential problem against Lifestealer that we talked about will be way less severe, because if they're fighting in the same area as Medusa, Lifestealer has to phase away from the Stone Gaze, and that will give Sven that like 3 or 4 or 5 seconds he needs to get the first key kill in the fight. So we'll see. Like Vici's lineup, I said we'll see again. Vici's lineup is really, it's extremely team fight heavy, but it's also, and it has mobility in the Tusk and the Centaur. It's very, out of all the games we've cast today, I think the first 10 minutes are most important in this one. I know we had the Liquid game where they just stomped in the lane stage, but it wasn't expected.
Yeah.
But even like just a medium lead for EG can transform into something big in this game. Taking tier 1s, taking access of the enemy ancient area is the key to this game. And you kind of see Vici's mentality against this team, right? In the last game, they first faced a Magnus. This game, they go Sven and Medusa. They're like, EG, you guys play slow. We're going to farm.
Yeah.
And we make sure we still can fight you, but we're not going to try to end the game in 25 minutes. And last game, I think they were in, Vici were largely in a good position in that game. They had a couple of mistakes, and they got maybe surprised by how ridiculous this Willow Morphling combo was. But in this game, again, they're definitely certain that they can play the late game.
How does the late game actually work for EG? Like, how does the late game Chen currently function? That's the main thing I'm looking at. I think I understand everyone else, but how does this Chen work? It was one of the most feared heroes coming into the tournament.
He generally, late game, he contributes a couple of things. He contributes the heal increase aura is, you know, something that stays throughout the entire game, which is really powerful later in the game too, when people have Satanics or just regular lifesteal or, you know, whatever region they have in fights. And he provides a huge heal on level 18. 600 heal for everybody in the team, which is amplified by 20%. Nice Warren.
The Observer Ward sees out TZ.
And then he generally buys auras, right? He buys like Greaves, or maybe he buys a Hex if he gets really farmed, so he has utility for his teammates.
And if EG are a little bit more patient, maybe they could have a crack at this. TZ's still just sitting underneath that Dire Observer Ward. Ori wants to go for this. He's so close to him.
Fate
and now
already skilled tag team.
They're using Yang as bait. They're trying to actually lure him out, and this will allow VG Gaming to come through the rear. They'll get a double stun and the double Mystic Snake. So much damage. Even the bonds connect them up from DY. That came very, very late, however. And now is VG Gaming on the run. Fade is low. Crit's going to stick with him. Samael, another stun is now available for them. Who does he want? No one really. The Fog of War, the horn is going off. VG Gaming will end up getting 3 of the bounty runes. But what the hell was that?
I think that's the first blood if Tusk is in a better position. He skilled tag team, but he was far behind. So when the Sven stun connected, they didn't have the tag team in range, and they need that slow. So, well, I tried. Well, there you go.
And DY has to skill Fatal Bonds at level 1. But that came after all the initial damage was done. He couldn't get close enough.
That's okay, though. Fatal Bonds is actually a pretty good spell level 1. A lot of the times you skill it on Warlock to push the lane. Let's see if that's what they, if that is what they want to go for here. Almost stunning Paparazzi, but changed his mind. And
he doesn't have a lot of mana to work with. Indeed, actually, I don't know if he burned the Mango during that fight. But now you got 3 players from EG on the bottom lane. Divine Favor, the way to start the lane from Fly. That gives our mid lane of Samael. He's got to get the right timing on the Happy Tree to go against Ori. And then S4 gets a one-on-one lane against Yang. Oh, bottom lane, my god. Well, there's your first blood. Tuskar was meant to ensure it for VG Gaming, and now he'll actually be it. With Arteezy going down. Be the first blood. Get the first blood. Words, please. Put together correctly.
This top lane is interesting too, because it's one of those one-on-one matchups where both heroes are actually happy, in a way. They both want to have a good laning stage and get farm, and both heroes do that in this matchup. They don't really counter each other. One hero is going to be maybe like what S4 is doing right now. He can pull it down to this camp, and then Yang can pull it down to the other camp, and they both just farm. It's maybe favors Sanking a little bit, because I think he's the faster farmer, especially if you skill like this. He can farm up this camp quickly and then go contest Yang and get more experience than Yang does, because now he can go and take half of the experience of his neutral camp. But for now he wants to pull the other wave down, it looks like, and then connect that one with what Yang is doing to get the experience. As
Going
we,
in.
that's not important, Toby. It's
It's
irrelevant.
it's just a kill.
We're watching pulling here, okay? Alright, he
Uh,
pulled the next wave into small camp.
On the bright side, you don't have to actually burn the TP to get out here because Fly's just able to just drag Crypt back out to the lane. So that's one upside. There's a little bit more efficiency. Even though it is still 2 kills going the way of VG Gaming in this aggressive tri lane.
Yep. VG are experts at playing Sven tri-lanes. I think it's my favorite team to watch play with Sven overall.
It does feel a little odd though, because like obviously Sven, like the CS wise, both Arteezy as well as Paparazzi will be kept pretty low, and normally you want to keep Sven in front of everybody else. Wonder how that works when Sumail gets a half decent start and S4 gets his rotations as well. If they can get that early Blink Dagger delivery system for lifesteal, it can get Arteezy on the front lines and more effective, faster than Paparazzi, who has to run at people.
Well, he has Stampede.
That's true. They'll have that pretty quickly thanks to Yang.
Oh, Earth Spirit rotation.
Yep, rolling Boulder in towards mid, kicking back Ori. Sumail perfectly connects with the stun, and then the lightning does the rest of the work. Guess they didn't realize the rebels were coming, the shields weren't up.
Nice, nice moment of opportunity used there by Crit. Very quick rotation.
And this is exactly what you wanted to see too, coming in from the ES. Early movement and early influence.
Yep.
Like
Looks
not
he's
just a
kinda
movement to just say hi.
He's sticking around. I feel like this second kill is not possible.
He's got enough mana with a stick,
Or he has...
but now Fade's gonna rotate over as well.
I mean, now it's definitely not possible.
Yeah, it's,
Or he could just put up the mana shield when the Earth Spirit rolls in, and I think he would be fine. The stun from Earth Spirit roll level 1 is not long enough that you can connect the Leshrac stun on it reliably before the enemy hero can react by casting any spell. So,
DY is actually moving off the lane too. Oh, he's coming back to do the stacks as they battle for the 4-minute rune crit. He's not going to get anything here. In fact, now Fade shards up, rolling Boulder, going to be blocked up, and has to kick him again. Fade, get away from him. The Shadow Word comes down, but there's 8 stick charges on crit, so he shouldn't die to this.
oh, he's got boots on Tusk. He might actually run him down. I think he will. Oh, wait, why did he give up?
Because he's got the 8 stick charges and rolling Boulder. I think he
Okay.
realized he wasn't going to get it.
Forcing that is still kind of nice, though. Not sure. There's nothing he has to go back for. There's no rune. Okay.
Just, it's what it is. You have to accept this and move on.
I have accepted.
The lore of Dota. S4's having a really good time up on top. He's actually going for a Veil to begin with.
Yep. Love this item on sinking. It's really, really good.
And the amount of damage he actually gets to Yang is pretty damn high. And what does Yang do? Like, he wants to turn around for retaliate. S4 just disengages.
Yeah. Still got to be a little bit cautious on sinking, because if there's any rotation from a single support, you kind of die to a stomp into...
I love the
you're
way
not getting this
I
right.
love the way S4 does that. He drags the creep wave down, so 1 he stacks and 2 Yang has to take extra damage, and then he burrow strikes to take the bounty runes.
Yep.
Rolling Boulder in towards mid, crit. That's well off target. Ori is not there anymore.
Oh, Fade was not ready there with the shards. He might have actually been able to trap him in the tower, but I don't think he was expecting that move at all. Paparazzi bottom. Oh, he's playing as Chain Lightning Heartbeat. That is so annoying. I can tell you from being on the receiving end of this, it's really annoying.
I've experienced this in my time in
Dude, I hate this creep. I hate it so much.
Hey, you were mentioning it earlier today as well, like one of those creeps that actually got a nerf. But that was because Puppy kept sniping Couriers with it.
Wait, you could do that?
Snipe Couriers with a Harpy?
Yeah?
Yeah, I still remember his classic one when he sniped it behind the tier 2 Radiant Tower.
With the lightning?
I think it was, yeah.
Oh. Oh, what do you know? Sure, it's fine.
I'm hoping I remember that correctly. I always question my memories. Well, Stampede. Burrow Strike from S4. Doesn't have Sandstorm available, and Yang knows it. That's why he's going for this attack. I think there's anything else to come apart from Crypt moving in. Goes for the kick, and Sumail's rotated up. Turns on the Pulse Nova, and Yang, 1200 HP is not enough to survive, especially when Sumail gets there so fast thanks to the haster, and he's even going to steal the creep wave. Sure, all right, take it. It's fine. S4 putting that Veil of Discord to work already.
Is under attack. Radiant structure.
And even then, they're going again on bottom lane. Paparazzi has to keep using this war cry of his.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
And Sumail's not giving up on this top tower. 3 points up in Enoch. They want to force the issue. As you said from EG, they need to get an early advantage and they're going to claim it. The TP did come in, actually completed from Centaur.
This is a really, really good start from EG. This is exactly what they wanted. They won all 3 lanes. They took a tower, and this is how you play Chen. You know, you put pressure on the lane. You are successful there. Your other support can move and put pressure somewhere else, finds a kill, and then you transition into starting to push towers. And this top tower being taken out by the Leshrac with level 3 Edict is just the icing on the cake about this whole top rotation. Now they're going to go into mid, just playing super fast.
Nice D-Ward for Fade, but yep, the Chen army is coming in. S4 looking for a Burrow Strike target, going to find it over on Ori, gets a double clamp. The Snowball does come in, quickly out of it, however. So Fade and Ori can back up as DY gets the Fatal Bond connection across Evil Geniuses, who just back up. They're looking for their own farm. Yang's still looking for boots. He's just gone for a straight hood so he can survive in the lane. But no movement speed, no way to really be there. Paparazzi's getting in that farm as much as he can before he's even got level 6. Now Fade. Shards out. Fly. Just a little bit short. He's got his Chen army there, but that won't help him. Stormbolt flies forward. He'll deny the rune, but he'll lose his life. Ori claiming it.
Still, that's a Sven rotating to be in that kill instead of farming lane, where Lifestealer is free farming. And I don't think Sven wants to come back bottom anymore. He's had enough of this lane. What's he got? Bracer Treads? Yeah, okay. So he's gonna half jungle and maybe play a little bit. No, maybe he's just gonna full jungle. And Medusa is going to push out mid and play the other side of the jungle. And then they'll put somebody bottom who probably isn't Centaur because he doesn't want to be there either.
Does Paparazzi have enough health for this? He took a lot of early hits because he couldn't get the right cleave off.
Yeah, he's okay.
Alright, well, I guess Fatal Bonds from DY will help. And Shadow Word. Still feels good for EG to keep its pressure up. Top 3 net worths belong to them. S4 is keeping that aggression in mid lane, so if Ori does want to hold back, they can get something back out of it. Looks like EG also blocked up that camp with the Observer Ward.
Yep. And I'm waiting to see what EG's next aggressive move is, because VG kind of, you know, they kind of said to EG with their approach to these 2 drafts that we don't think you guys are going to play aggressively, and then they pull out this Chen. And even despite that, VG still go greedy. So, want to see that aggression from EG, whether they can pull it off or not here with the Chen. The mid tower almost being down is a really big deal. They're going to fight for bounty runes first, and then I think they want the mid tower, and then maybe even the bottom tier 1. They could come to Arteezy's lane. We'll park Centaur here against the Lifestealer, as a matter of fact.
S4's going to try and take that top rune again with the help of VS, and they'll be able to do that.
There's
So it's going to be a 3 for 1 trade off in favor of EG. A lot of extra cash, and there's the tomes.
Warlock's level 3. Tusk is level 4. Chen is level 4. Or Spirit is level 6. Oh, he just used the book, so he was 4.5 or almost 5 before. Yeah. Very nicely controlled game so far for EG.
Oh my god, I can't believe, like, Samel's farm rate is so good with that tier 1 tag going down. With the Eul Scepter already done, Warlock is less of a threat.
Oh,
And Arteezy's having his own little battle against Yang on bottom. DY can't help out, but if this fight's the perfect timing, no Golem available. And VG may feel a little bit more safer just because Arteezy is on the bottom, but now the Snowball. Crit's waiting for it. Fade comes back out, the kick will happen, and the Dayfleet do not complete that TP in towards mid. Arteezy has arrived, pulled in by Chen. Which feels like you're running almost like a Nature's Prophet, the way you can split push, but then still be there for the fight.
That's pretty convenient for Lifestealer. And back to bottom. Okay, so he bought Midas. Let's see what he queues up on Quick Buy, if he does anything yet.
Our last Lifestealer went Midas Armlet.
Yep.
It's just like Armlet or Radiance. That's the question mark.
Yeah, it's guaranteed going to be one of those 2.
He's like, Diffusal Blade! Yang's starting to get a little stronger. Oh, this never-ending farming, but it feels like Paparazzi and Ori are fighting over what there is.
That was my concern with Svendusa, is they both want a jungle, and if you lose control of one side of the jungle, you're constricted to the other side, and there's not enough for both of you. So this is a tricky situation for Vici Gaming.
Fate's probably dead. Rolling Boulder gets the perfect hit. Ooh! Snowball just in time, but it'll only delay it, maybe with the shards. And the okay. Hadouken available. You got him.
I wonder how Vici are going to get out of this. It's a bit of a...
Samel's going for his own target. Paparazzi.
Okay.
He walked down for the regen rune, and Samel just used him up and, well, split earthed him. And EG then turned their attention towards bottom lane. And that's why Vici Gaming, they know they need to defend this. Ari's there. Mystic Snake actually does a hell of a lot of damage towards Fly, but Arteezy doesn't care. He rolls in with the help of Crit. Arteezy stands his ground, the Stone Gaze will come off, and what happens with the Stampede forward? You do at least get the rock off, plus combining with the Fatal Bonds, a lot of damage into Arteezy. Chris trying to walk it off, that's why he kicks back. Yang, before the Hoofstomp's able to connect over on him, and another Rolling Boulder in from Crit. He's just always there, but they still haven't killed off the primary target they came for. Ori's moving up, and S4 thought he could get it. He can Burrow Strike away to save it. Samel gets a doubles and a Crit. He did again with a huge kick. S4's going to combine with the Everton and Paparazzi and Yang. They're both going to go down here. Yang's got no way to survive. A triple kill for Samel. Ori will retreat, and VG, they really wanted to hold that tower, but they won't.
This guy has no chill, man.
No chill.
Thanks, Ed.
So Sven just died back to back, right? He got killed in the river, and then he got killed in this fight. His tempo is just out
It's
of
shattered.
this game.
He's got 3.7k right now net worth.
Yeah. It's concerning, to say the least, for Vici this game. Usually, at this point, when you're behind 5k gold, the way you come back into the game, we're going to see the replay here. So nice roll into kickback, they use the stun, and then they reset away from the Deuce of Stone Gaze. And at this point, Vici Gaming feel like, okay, this is pretty good. We can kill this Lifestealer and go from there. But they've used everything, and this makes a free fight for Samel, it makes it a free fight for S4, and they just have way more damage and way more contribution to fights than the Lifestealer does right now. So easily taking
Samel's
that
going
trade.
again. He's found DY. Nice stun up. Ori's trying to help him out. Warlock can't do much, however. That'll be a death.
And usually when you're 5k behind, 14 minutes in, the way back in the game is maybe you make a smoke move to get a tower, maybe you find a team fight. If you have a very specific lineup, perhaps you can sneak a Roshan or whatever. But in this case, Vici Gaming's options are really limited. They can try to take a fight, but it doesn't really feel like they're going to be favored into a Sand King with Blink Veilment at 14.
And until you have like a Centaur stomp where you can get the upper hand early on, like that's the only
so
way. But
far away
EG
from
just want to keep
Dagger.
fighting, and here we go again. Blink Burrow Strike forward, the Snowball, and it goes over, but it's Samel who's already TPing himself in. And that's going to be one very dead Ori, and then even to the back lines, S4 once more. Blink Dagger's coming off cooldown in 3, 2, 1. Does he want to go somewhere? He wants to find Yang. Moving the wrong way, and oh boy, Yang totally isolated from the rest of his team. The chain stuns from EG are absolutely perfect. And this is escalating quickly.
It's a beatdown, flat out. And largely, Vici Gaming have themselves to blame for being in this position right now. This is one of those drafts where you're just trying to get too cute and too greedy, and EG have just abused it really, really hard. So, you've got to try to find a fight. EG are going to fight you all the time. They're not going to let you farm. So you need to try to find a fight on your. Did I just say find a fight? Find a fight. Find a fight. You have to find a fight on your terms, which means you predict EG's next move, you stand on a high ground with all your spells ready, and you land a good spell combo into the Fatal Bonds. You're not farming your way out of this, you're not getting towers, you have no pushing power, and you have two very greedy farming heroes, so...
Time for insane defense to turn on for VG Gaming. Play under vision, and don't get caught out. Yang, it's like he's trying to bait it forward just so, like, well, he's got 13 retaliators at the moment. Paparazzi waiting in the tree line, but the bait wasn't taken. Instead, the shards trying to block in Samel, able to do so, but he Yule Scepter. He dodges the snowball in, and have they got enough? The rock will drop. Fatal Bonds need to connect as well. Paparazzi in the backlines. S4 and RT trying to control him, but man, they actually have enough damage to get through Samel. DY is the one to claim it. And we're spilling out so much damage with the rock and Fatal Bonds.
Yep.
But EG still got the sustain. I don't know how hard VG Gaming want to keep baiting here.
That was a team fight on VG's terms. They were on their own high ground. Samel walked up and got shard blocked off, and they take a successful engagement. It doesn't sound like much to get a 1-for-1, but it's actually a 2k gold swing because they killed the biggest hero in the game, and all they lost for it was their Tusk.
But they're going to lose the tier 2 tower on top lane as well, I think.
Yeah, that tower's doomed.
Yeah, because the kick will come in. Tuskar wants to try and help out. Ori just left stranded.
Why is he
Fade.
still there?
He has to snowball. I don't know. The Stampede will get him away to safety. Crit rolling boulders in, and he finds Fade. He has to snowball right now. Buy some time, but he just turns around. The snowball was so short. The Fatal Bonds was also connecting them up. TP comes in once more. Samel
Okay,
back
good.
to the
That's a
front
bit too
lines,
cute.
and yeah, you're in a little deep there, man. Paparazzi will take Crit streak. I don't know what he was doing there.
It would have been a huge kill to get the Medusa. I understand why he got tempted. He had a Magnetize running on the Medusa from earlier, and Medusa was out of mana and health, pretty much. Just 200 left, but yeah, there was help on the way. Tower also didn't fall, because they dove. Not yet, anyway. Leshrac got resummoned by Chen, I think. No, he TP'd. So
Yeah,
they could-
Lesh has been using the Chen creeps to just BT in.
Yeah.
It actually allows them, like, now he can BT in. Arteezy is the one that gets pulled in, so they can still become an entire 5-man lineup after Arteezy farms lane and Samel farms jungle or lane.
Tizi's going for the Radiance, so only 1k to go. Relic has arrived. It's a little bit of a breath of life from VG Gaming this last fight, but there's so much more work to be done. Are they closing in on any key items? Actually, look at the win expectancy of what just happened.
Yeah.
How much that swung.
And it brings it back down to like 75, 74. The
That was
graph
a-
is just adjusting
That
as
was
we
like a
as we look at it.
12% change. Obviously, when you play these late game lineups with big team fight, and you clearly, we've talked about this, how if Medusa Sven gets late, you know, it's strong, but a lot of the times you fall into the trap of trying to play greedy and you just lose the map and you never get to late game. But obviously a win expectancy is going to change a lot when you're in the mid game, you're far behind, and you win a fight, because now you get back on track a little bit. It has huge impacts. If they find another team fight like the one they just did, they're almost back to probably like 60-40, and that's when it can get really interesting. So EG have still got to be a bit careful they don't overextend and get into awkward situations like the one Samel just did.
And they got a big enabler. Like you saw what happened with the Warlock. If you can catch like EG were trying to save Samel, walked into a tight choke point, and it's like it's the sweet spot for VG. You're all stunned, you're all Fatal Bonded up, and Sven with God Strength is able to cleave into multiple targets.
Yep, and soon there's going to be a Centaur Dagger too. That will make it even worse.
Yeah. But for now, EG wants to keep the aggression up. They will smoke a move through the south. Sven, Warlock, he's going to be the one there. Rock's available. Rolling Boulder is going to come in. Nicely dodged. The silence was still out, so DY won't be able to get any abilities off of Willie. He gets the Fatal Bonds and the Rock off with Ori getting the split shot damage. EG, the bit of more than they can choose. Samel will be able to BT in, but now he's stranded underneath VG Gaming. Ori will stand his ground too. He still wants to get the kill with the help of S4. He's able to get the double out, but Yang, he's got 22 HP. He wants to walk this off. Samel has to turn around to actually get back into this fight and help Arteezy get the triple kill. It was probably the best fight that VG Gaming could ask for, but it looks like EG have just enough in the tank and Fade. He doesn't know what to really do here. He's looking at this, but Arteezy's already got himself an ultra kill. TP home, that's what you can do.
That was the Radiance reveal, right? He had the Radiance going into this fight, and then they infest, and they take the fight. Without Radiance, they lose this engagement, for sure. It did so much damage over the course of this. I know you see Arteezy putting out massive numbers. So did the Dusa, but just like you said, just not enough, right? There's that one item missing, and the item is missing because they're farming the same creeps. So they're a bit limited. That was still a really good execution from VG Gaming, and if they're not this far behind when this happens, that would have been a great move. But yeah, EG engaging here, kind of missing the engagement to begin with, and they lose crit immediately. But they have so much sustain. Chen, heal, and mech extends the fight long enough. They're constant. Look how long they're fighting in the Sandstorm. Yep. Centaur took half of his health from Edict and Sandstorm, and he has a hood, right? So.
And you're definitely feeling like the timidness from Paparazzi. Until he has that BKB, he won't feel strong enough to stand in the fight. He just keeps moving away. And with Rock down, God's Strength down, EG just take Roshan now.
Yep.
And there is no Thief in the Night. No one can close that kind of distance, especially when Crit's waiting it out.
Give it to Samel, I think.
It would make the most sense.
I
then
don't
again,
think
you
Arteezy's gonna die in these fights right now. The way they play out.
Samel's got so much more to give to, and yeah, he's moving the null out.
His second life is way more valuable too. He has a full mana and health pool, right, on Leshrac. It's a very good Aegis hero.
And he's the tower pusher.
Yep.
Like, more importantly, he needs to stand in front of the towers with the Edict, just burning them. Force initiation from VG Gaming.
Big item on crit, by the way. I think this is new, right? The Vessel. Did he have that in the last fight?
He had Urn, but I don't think it was a full Vessel until now.
Maybe the Arcane Boots came after the Vessel, that's why I'm not sure. But the Vessel is very, very good. So obviously the way Vessel works with the damage it does is most people just focus on the minus healing, right? You can't heal people at your Vessel, that's why you bite against Morphling, etc, etc. But this item deals percentage-based damage out of current health of the enemy. So if you're playing it against tanky heroes that have high base HP, the damage of Vessel is very high. So 4% of current health per second against someone like Sven is actually 100 damage per second. That's twice of a Radiance almost.
So
It's very strong in the beginning of kills.
Yang and Paparazzi showed themselves on bottom lane, so EG just move up towards the high ground. They don't care about losing a tier 1 tower on bottom lane if they can take a tier 3, but now the TPs begin, realizing that some TP support has happened. And if it's only S4, and he can instantly be pulled back and deny the bottom tier 1 tower if he so desires.
Yeah, I think he should deny it. This tower doesn't serve that much of a purpose. He might not realize though. Oh, he's getting pulled already. He didn't have time. They want to keep him ready for mid, and that they will.
And the last outer tier 2 tower to be removed. 23 minutes in, EG move over for it. Someone's like, hey guys, we need the creep wave.
And I love sinking. I love this hero. I've played it a lot. I haven't played so much recently, but when you see it play out and when you think of the meta right now, it's actually not that surprising that the hero's this good. There's just so much to give in the game. And S4 has played an excellent game, by the way.
Yeah.
I think for me, he's the MVP of the game so far. His spellcasting and overall decision making.
You know, it was the itemization, it was Sumail coming at the right time. The second the Veil was done, they put it to use against the Centaur.
Yep.
And now he's got Blink Yules and Veil.
And there was this team fight that happened around the Dire Secret shop where they tipped S4, his teammates. I think S4 made a pretty important call. I'm guessing that's what they tipped him for. He didn't do like any amazing spellcasting. He did his job. He hit good stuns, but I think he had a really good read on the situation that they could still fight there. I think it was the fight where Arteezy died first, right?
Yeah.
And then they stuck around. Was that? Maybe it was that one.
I think it sounds right.
Yeah.
Yang has the Blink Dagger, so he's ready to fight. Ori still trying to build towards his BKB. The stupid thing was, it happened again. Ori and Paparazzi ended up in the same lane looking at the same creep wave, wondering like, oh, well, who can farm this? Because they're both trying to build the same item.
Yep.
But it's taking time, and they're going to smoke before it's ready. Before the BKB's there, you've got Kaya already over on the track.
They have no map. They have to go somewhere. The place they used to farm is taken over.
But they're just going to push through bottom lane anyway, so everyone's going to have to TP back home. Like, what are you going to do? You're gonna Mystic Snake down as much of this as you can. SRTZ bounces off a little bit.
Ooh, that Snake hit Chen. That's a lot of mana gone. They're not committing.
Yeah, he can't Hand of God as well as Mech right now.
So this would have been a lot better for Vici if Sven was staying top, but he doesn't have TP. Because he could have stayed in that jungle. Now he's flying one out, but he could have farmed 2 or 3 camps and almost had BKB.
Here they go again. Battlebond's going to connect up Sumail. He's not going to Yules it off, however.
No, he's bound to nothing.
Yeah.
Lifesteal raged it off. Sumail's going to TP top the bounty runes. He's actually too late. No.
Yeah, Yang was looking for it.
Oh, now he's chasing him. He wants to find Fade, but...
Smart play by Fade. Just move the opposite direction. And then straight TP out. VG aren't doing a very good job of delaying this, but they're still moving behind in net worth. Like, it's 14k advantage moving to 15k for the net worth, 10,000 for the experience, and it's still a steady incline.
Yeah. I've seen Vici win games like this with Medusa. I don't know if I've seen it with Medusa Sven.
Oh, there's your blink. Stun right on top of Ori. He's still got the shields up, as well as Mana Style available, and there's a Glimmer Cape also becoming available from Warlock. So DY just assisting his core.
BKBs are about on the way. Medusa has hers, Sven 400 to go. And they might actually just try a team fight.
Look,
Yang.
he's standing on the front lines. S4 can line up for the double Burrow Strike. You will be able to get a good Mystic Snake off with a follow-up stun. S4, they just wanted him a little bit closer. He's still got the defensive Yule set, but Fate will have to buy back. The tier 3 tower has already been taken. That's what Arteezy was focusing on. The BKB is now up for Sven, but EG, this isn't a pullback. Sumail's just taking care of the top lane. He can already be dragged back by Fly. Then it's a pullback.
Yep.
And he hits level 20 with the experience. So welcome to the plus 50 Pulse Nova damage, but also welcome to the Aegis Immortal timing out.
And he has the level 3 Pulse Nova as well, which you can only really sustain at this point because you have the Kaya. this spell is extremely expensive to use in terms of mana, and you're playing against Mystic Snake as well. But with that Kaya, you're actually able to pull it off. And you see again, VG Gaming, same logic, right? We've lost this area, we've got to find another one. So they walk up here and start farming. Does Sven have BKB now?
The Sentry Ward got killed off, so they know where DY is. They put down their own Dire Observer session. He doesn't want to kill that Sentry. They're smoked up. The movement in. Eul Scepter over on the Deucer. The follow-up, the stun. Oh, it couldn't be dodged with the Manta style. But the shields, they tank as much as they can. The rock is good. DY slows them up. And now Ori, he can do a lot of work if he can just keep attacking. They flip him up. Lifestealer does go down. Samael taking through as much as he can, but now he's the last sole survivor of EG in the middle of this fight. Yang's looking for more. As the Chen, he blinks forward, gets it done over on Fly. And Yang will pick himself up a double kill, and EG lose 3 heroes who do not have buyback available. VG Gaming can now potentially regain control of their side of the map.
Uh-oh.
Oh, indeed.
Yep. EG has been playing so well the whole game, and this one time they get greedy and make a two-player move instead of 5, and they get punished immediately. Now they might get a return kill bottom though. DY, ambitious TP. Got caught by the Sand King and Earth Spirit, and of course this is where EG know what they can do, because this is where they have their vision. This is the area that they have control of. So when fights happen down here, they have way more to work with. But this move up here, just a flat-out mistake. They got overconfident with their 2 heroes, thought they could kill the Dusa, and just didn't work out. You need more people there. VG Gaming are very good at playing as a team, and you give them opportunities like this later in the game and they can make a comeback. This is the second time that VG has successfully done something in the last 15 minutes.
Yep.
And you give them one more, it's
You see the swing in the graph. It comes down from 18,000.
It's very clear in the graph when it happened too, right?
Yeah.
It's like VG won something. VG won something again. And it's not massive victories. It's just, you know, decently sized victories when you have this kind of lineup are just worth so much more. Yeah, I'm starting to get a bit worried for EG, because what will end up happening in this game is if they don't close it out at a relatively soon, it doesn't have to be within the next 5 minutes, but if it goes very late against this Warlock Sven Medusa, I think they can't break high ground anymore almost.
Yeah,
even with Aegis, it will feel hard.
And it feels like VG Gaming, like you see the way they itemize. Like, what do you get from Paparazzi? He's already got the Blink Dagger up, and that's his next item after having, like, the defensive BKB and the Echo Saber. Then he'll go into Daedalus, but it's about hitting the right position. When there's the opportunity, he has to hit the right spot. Get as many heroes cleaved down, and you're seeing Samael as well as Arteezy unable to stand up to the damage.
Yep.
Obviously, he's still battling through the evasion, but doesn't need the MKB.
He'll need it against Lifestealer eventually, if he wants to kill the Lifestealer. But he might go and try to kill other heroes, because Lifestealer is not that big of a problem when they have Stone Gaze. So focusing the Leshrac might have more value in a lot of situations. And speaking of itemization, notice how VG Gaming are just building everything they can to make these 2 big cores as monstrous as possible.
Yep.
They have Solar Crest first item on Tusk. They have the Glimmer Cape on Warlock to protect them. And I wouldn't be surprised to see if Vlad's... Oh, that's actually exactly what Centaur is buying. I didn't even check that. He has the Force Staff, and now he's going to buy Vlad's for them. So time to aura up, make your hero strong, and play around these 2 cores, killing everything.
VG don't find the target they're looking for.
I love this Vlad's choice. I think it's the perfect item. There's nothing better he can buy in this game.
The Dire Scan Roshan, it pinged for half a second. Now Roshan could spawn up for them quickly, but he won't. He's going to be almost the maximum duration spawn time.
Gaben is helping.
Just helping to give us a nice long drawn out game. More fantasy points for everybody.
Yeah, that's a lot of fantasy in this series.
There really is. 19.7 even on the losing team for a support.
Why does he have so much more than the Chen?
Because he's always Fatal Bond and Goleming. He's got a lot of stuns to his name, and he's planting wards down.
Well,
Chen's been a little bit more greedy with his buy up, and I think most of the wards have been planted by crit.
I see.
I believe. If I didn't see the exact math.
I believe you. This one time.
Thank you. Thank you very much. But look at 8.0 on Paparazzi. For all the work he seems to be doing, he's still 136 on this Ven. Everything is just turning into CS points. That's all it is. So he's just trying to build up to the next major item. He needs to get some level of effect, but it's the same for Ori. Like, Ori doesn't have a lot of kills to his name. Only 3 kills there. Arteezy is able to rage off in the mid and walk away from just fast enough from the Shards of Fade. Not getting caught out.
It's almost like you can feel the player's mentality has changed, right? EG's approach to the game has just flipped almost 180. And It's for two reasons. First of all, like, okay, let's not get hot-headed, guys. Let's not go too deep. We don't have to overextend. And it also is because they lost half of the map. So they can't really just play that aggressively anymore. This mistake was actually much bigger than it looked.
It actually feels like they need the time to discuss, like, okay, what's the next approach?
Yep.
Like, what's our next items? What's our next timing? Because obviously the first phase has failed.
I wouldn't say it's failed. I mean, they're still 14k up. They've done a really good job.
Now they come. S4 Burrow strikes in. Look at DY's position. He's ready for the rock drop. He just needs the right timing for it. Ori's tanking through a lot of it. Now the rock drop does come down with the Fatal Bond's connected, but Fade's already dead. He'll have to buy back the damage in. They're getting it off, but here comes Paparazzi in for the stun. He wants to focus down Arteezy, and with the upheaval, it's making it difficult for EG to continue to move, especially as Ori has backed up Sumail. He will end up falling. Chris trying to do something about it in the backlines. Turns on the Magnetize, gets a follow-up kick, but how much has he really got left to give? You got the flip tossed out, and now crit, focused down by Paparazzi, all the damage he needs with the God Strength, he gets it, and with a 4-star, Ori continues to be kiting them out. S4 will Burrow strike in. He doesn't really be that effective. In fact, it's the stun the opposite way around. Arteezy slow on life. He'll try and hit you right inside of S4 to get the hell out of here. Burrow strike in 1 second, but the mana, it got taken away by the Mystic Snake. They have to pop out. They have to fight. At least he'll be able to get one die back over on the Tuskar, or maybe he can get more. A double kill for Arteezy, a triple kill for Arteezy. He's just turned this crap up. Ultra kill, giving the Rampage the bash. It is Arteezy. Rampage is solo. BG Gaming. Do you want it? Do you want it?
Oh my god. That's actually unbelievable. That is actually unbelievable. What?
I don't know what I just saw. And now they go for Roshan. Fly's like, hey, Artur, you got another job right now, don't you? Can you get over here and kill the big man? There's a cheese, there's an Aegis to claim. Evil geniuses. Man, I thought Fiji were having this, but in the greatest words, let's see that again.
They were, look at this, they are literally 2 seconds away from cleaning house. If Tusk has ulti, Arteezy's dead right here. Instead, one to the next hero. Medusa, he's just life draining back too much and has way too much armor. And then the Basher as well for this. So he even gets the full-on Rampage. Even without the Warlock kill, I don't think he would have minded too much, but what an icing on the cake for that play. That was absolutely amazing.
Oh.
Something, I don't know if you noticed that in that fight, by the way, the beginning of it, before it looked amazing for VG, the Sven started hitting Lifestealer. He attacked him 3 times, he was like, this is useless.
He
and
missed
then he
every
started
single
hitting
time.
Leshrac. He absolutely cannot deal with Lifestealer. And now he absolutely can't deal with him because now Lifestealer has another item. He just got a full Abyssal after this fight.
I think actually
And,
before
wow.
that fight as well, Arteezy was really considering going for the BKB. It was in his quick buy and he switched to the Basher just before the fight actually began.
What was he considering before?
BKB, I believe he had on him. But yeah.
I think the Basher was a good, turned out to be a good choice.
Yeah, it really did. Crit was actually looking at the same thing, but now he's looking at Lotus Orb, and we were talking like how EG just changed the tempo because they had to rethink their items. Now they've rethought it again. It's like, okay, well, maybe we are back in control of this game, but they still have to try and push high ground against VG Gaming, and that's still a very scary prospect.
But if you look at the graph, we're starting to look, we're almost getting down to 50%, but now
Here comes Arteezy.
he's way back into position for this.
Mystic Snake, he'll rage it off, but it won't stop the Creep Wave from dying. He just stands his ground, feeds into the melee racks. The shards will lock Arteezy in, but he's got that extra 2 seconds of the rage duration. Yang Hoi!
Oh, they killed a Centaur creep.
Yeah, they did.
And Paparazzi's farming. They're actually defending with 4 heroes right now, so every minute that this goes on that they don't commit.
Here comes Arteezy again.
Oh, they glyphed the...
They glyphed. Like, he's got so much rage duration, he can just keep doing this, but they needed to do it to kill off the catapult wave as well.
They glyphed the backdoor protection. They glyphed 2 seconds early.
Oh.
But
Okay, that's not so great.
But yeah, you're right. They survived the siege creep wave, which is the big thing.
Up S4, Blink Burrow strikes in, wait for the counter rock out, and well,
Double
they are
force
moving
staff.
back, and yeah, push Ori so far deep. Fades nearby, he's trying to stick with him to see if he needs to snowball, but Ori is already BKB, so he wasn't snowballable, and maybe with a rage down, Arteezy, remember he's got the Aegis Immortal up, Yang, I don't know, he's raising the hoofs at the moment, but Arteezy, he just stands and delivers. Special delivery. Arteezy will take the melee racks, and VG have nothing more to give.
They can't kill him. When he's in rage, he's invincible. They just don't have damage.
It's back off cooldown in 5 seconds time, but they have to do something or else EG will continue to take racks after racks. The 4-star Yang, he's got no mana left. He actually has to go back to base to regen the mana. Arteezy with a backup from Evil Genius sitting back. Look where Paparazzi is. He's at the back lines. The rolling boulder will come in. There's a lot of damage. The rock will drop, and Paparazzi, the cleave damage. 3 heroes together. Fly will finally get the heal off, and the Abyssal Blaze done. Arteezy gets a little bit more. Remember, he's got the Aegis Mortal. They don't want to fight him off. They get the 2 support kills instead. A 4-star gets baited a little bit further out in the upheaval from DY. EG, the need to run it down. Arteezy knows it. They flick him up, and maybe under the tier 4 towers, they got some way to defend this, but without Ori, I don't know if it's going to be possible. Sentry Wars Town, CS4 at least, but also see your racks go down.
Yeah, they're just going to keep going. If they can't force this...
GG.
Yep.
They call it. EG will 2-0 VG Gaming. And VG, and today got a hell of a lot rougher for them, but these games, EG pushed them to the limit in both of them in the series.
I still can't believe that fight. It was actually incredible.
The turnaround, Arteezy.